Hello and welcome back to Ketchup Court. I go by the name of Dr. Hines, and today joining me today is IT Goatee, who has been following the Karen, sorry, not Karen Reed, sorry about that, Laura Eshard case, and Laura Owens, and also joining me today as well is Kay Marie, who has some strong opinions in regards to the whole Karen Reed trial. And yeah, so welcome guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. How are you doing first and foremost? Because this is the first time I'm ever speaking with you and collaborating. Well, it's both your first time actually. So like, introduce yourself. What do you go by?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So my channel primarily focuses on tech-related topics, in addition to some current events, which happens to be the Laura Owens Clayton Echard case. I try and do monthly Q&As to allow people to bring tech topics forward for, if they're having problems with their computers, recommendations for computer builds, things like that. And then I've also done a number of dramatic readings of David Gingriss's blog posts in a hilarious British evil movie villain style accent.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I didn't expect that. Okay. Well, welcome, IT Goatee. Over to you, Kay Marie. What's your channel and what do you do?
Well, I go by Critical K, and I have a channel on Rumble. I also have a Facebook page, and which is kind of sitting a little dormant right now. I have about 33,000 followers on there, but it's a little dormant right now because I'm kind of ADD, and I've been so focused on the Karen Reed case. I have a group of 7,000 people, and it keeps me so busy that I'm in there. I'm watching the trial when the trial's on. I'm in there managing the group, and I'm doing shows here and there when I can. We just got a new puppy 4 months ago, and she keeps me super busy. So I'm kind of distracted all the time by her, but I'm just kind of doing the best that I can to keep up with some of the cases that are going on. And the Karen Reed case caught my eye because of the mob mentality surrounding it.
Oh. So the mob mentality. When you say the mob mentality, what do you mean? Because just so that my viewers know, Kay and I have had two experts before in the past. So I want to what mob mentality are you referring to?
Well,
Because
the bizarre gathering of seemingly unemployed, bored, middle-aged losers that gather in front of the courthouse screaming at the victim's family and with pink shirts and holding their signs free Karen Reed when they don't have a single clue what they're talking about, never have. And they're in several Facebook groups, and they're all over X and Twitter, and they've committed themselves to this woman's innocence and her being framed. And it just flies in the face of reason. So I think a lot of these people, because I've said this before, as regards this phenomenon in other cases, I think a large portion of these people don't even believe she's innocent. They just want to be a part of something. They just want to be a part of the mob. They see that everybody else believes something, so it must be true. So I want to be a part of it too, because I don't want to be on the outside of what the masses believe, because then they'll come for me. They'll harass me. They'll call me names. I don't have the courage to disagree openly because of this mob mentality. And they do behave like an angry mob. If you disagree with them, they come for you. And just as any mob or cult goes, they have a leader. And their leader is seen to be this Aiden Kearney turtle boy, but it's not. It's really Karen Reed behind the scenes. So there's that.
Okay, so I have a lot to respond to that. When we are going to go into a later case, so do your best to hold on to your thoughts, because we're just gonna start with this entire Laura Owens situation, because she has posted on Medium twice in 2 days apart. So I only heard about this like this morning, but the other things were going down. What happened? Fill me in, because this is news to me.
Who's Laura Owens? That's news to me too. I don't know who that is.
Oh, IT Goatee. I think you know a lot more about this. So why not educate both of us? On this. Well, I mean, I know about the case, but I mean, just give us the updates, basically. Oh,
Did
I
we
think
lose
you're
him?
muted. I think you're muted.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
So
sorry.
for a quick recap for Kay and anyone in the audience who doesn't know who Laura Owens is, back in May of 2023, a woman was wanting to make some real estate purchases and found former Bachelor contestant Clayton Eckerd through LinkedIn, messaged him about wanting to do real estate, and they went and saw some properties, and then she apparently was coming on pretty heavy in text messages. He invited her over, and there was some things happening in a bedroom, we'll say, and to the tune of 2 acts of fellatio, but with no consummation.
Okay.
And
wow. Okay. Go on.
and 4 days later, she messages him and says, or well, I should say, the day after, he says, "Hey, that crossed an ethical boundary. We shouldn't do that again." And then 4 days later, she texts him and says, "Hey, I know I was fertile during that time, and I might be pregnant." And then 7 days later, she takes a pregnancy test and says, "Hey, it's positive." And then 2 weeks later, he comes over. He asks her to come over to take another pregnancy test. That one comes positive, and now he's like, "Oh man, what the heck is going on?" And he goes through this stages of denial, disbelief, and she keeps sending him all of these documents. And August of 2023 ends up filing a paternity case against him. And she says, "Well, I just wanted him to take a DNA test," and it goes through litigation. And it comes to find out this woman has been taking and manipulating sonograms and HCG tests in order to cause Clayton to believe that she continues to be pregnant, and filed an protection order against him for supposedly posting a meme on Reddit that had a Halloween, what's the name of that one? Spirit Halloween costume with her standing there with an ultrasound in her hand.
Wow.
But the ultrasound was taken from a YouTube video that was posted 7 years ago, but she claims that it's a photo of her son. Oh, by the way, she's having twins, by the way, but she doesn't have any legitimate sonograms in order to claim it or to justify it.
Yeah.
So this whole thing goes down. We fast forward. It finally goes to trial 2 weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks tomorrow. And basically, it's thoroughly proven that she is a liar. The judge finds that her story is both incredible and has been a waste of judicial resources because she continues to, through her attorney, file frivolous motions, delaying the trial or delaying proceedings, and continues to try and rack up legal fees. So the judge finds that she was not the paternity case is dismissed. He's definitely not the father because she couldn't meet the burden of 95% genetic match, and then sanctions her for filing this frivolous case. And we think the likelihood is that it'll come out to she'll have to pay 6 figures or more in total attorney fees for this case.
Okay. Okay. So unpacking all of that,
Yeah.
punishment could actually be a very good thing here, because it's the reason why I say that is because the last stream that we didn't know whether there would be some form of punishment for Laura Owens for all that she did. We spoke about the other men that she has, taken advantage of, and made false accusations against. And we looked at it last week. So this development right here is really, well. I'll just show you the LinkedIn that I was mentioning earlier, because when that sanction, by the way, do you have the sanction, like the order, like the paperwork for it? Sorry.
I should have it.
Oh yeah, I tried looking for it, but unfortunately, I wasn't successful.
If you want to look
Big
for
Johnson, hello, how are you doing? Big, welcome. Thank you so much for joining, Big Johnson, in the court.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, say hello, everyone. But yeah, Big Johnson, I'm sure you know IT Goatee, of course. But Kay Marie, she is here to talk about the Karen Reed case, and she believes that Karen Reed is guilty. So we'll get into that much later. Do hit that like button, please. We are trying.
Okay, so I see this guy.
going.
This guy Clayton was on The Bachelor. Is that what his claim to fame? That's his claim to fame. And then he got snookered and bamboozled by this chick, and then put through this misery. It went on for how long? This court battle?
Over a year now. Over a year since they met. They met last May the 20th. And so I believe the litigious aspects of it started, correct me if I'm wrong, IT Goatee, about September, October is when she started getting litigious. But it's been numerous cases since then up until the one almost 2 weeks ago.
Well, and the moral of the story being here that this is why I teach my sons. I have 3 grown sons. This is why I teach them how manipulative women can be. To steer clear. All people can be, but especially women. Women have it down to an art form. And especially when they're trying to get you to have sex with them and get you to be intimate with them without any benefit of marriage or commitment. I mean, the moral of the story here is, what the hell is he doing? Having casual anything with some woman in a home. She's a realtor, right? She was selling a home.
He's a realtor.
Well, that's highly unethical. What an idiot, doing that in a home that he's supposed to be listing.
No. It's his house.
Yeah.
Oh, it's his house?
Yeah, he invited her over to his house, and they were using cannabis gummies.
Well, again, moral of the story is, don't be dumb. Don't be a slut. And don't be getting involved in women and getting intimate with them when you don't know them from Eve. Because people nowadays are sociopathic, looking for trouble. They're bored. People have lost their minds since COVID, even more so. And these people walk amongst us, and you have to constantly be on your guard from them, period. So he kind of invited this, and she deserves all the punishment she has coming her way.
I do believe she needs consequences for her behavior and the absolute monstrous action she's taken. I don't know if I agree as much with Clayton deserves this or asked for this, because when you go into like the nitty-gritty details of their encounters and how they met, he invited her over and he shouldn't have, and he tried to end that. And her responses to him wanting to end and not have this inappropriate relationship continue anymore is what got us here.
Right. Like Fatal Attraction. You're not going to push me away. I'll ruin your life. But he gave her the open door. He had casual, intimate relations with her without the benefit of any sort of commitment, marriage, or promise to one another. And this is a big part of the problem. Just my opinion, just my opinion. Is why I tell my boys to, there's nothing undignified about waiting for the right girl whom you respect and who has respect for you. Doesn't that avoid all of these problems and drama? I mean, it avoids unintended pregnancy. It avoids sexual diseases. It avoids hurt, heartache, hassle, drama. there's something to be said for that, and we've lost that in society. It's just casual sex all over the place now. I mean, 30 years ago, that would have been scandalous.
Absolutely.
But these shows like The Bachelor have made it, it's now just accepted that everybody's out screwing each other, screwing the reins out, getting involved casually with people that they have no intention of committing to, and they have no respect for, and have no respect for them. It invites problems.
I see both sides for sure.
The big thing
IT
about
goatee, sorry.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this is, yes, there is a moral aspect to this in society, but the one thing that we're still trying to understand is, did she intentionally choose Clayton because of his notoriety or not?
Probably.
And we don't know if she did or not, because we don't have anything that says that she was like a Bachelor follower or say. She could have just found him as being a real estate agent that's in Scottsdale, Arizona, and she tried to lure him in, because one of the things that we found in her patterns is that she tries to date upwards because her family has a small bit of notoriety in her father being a prominent radio personality. So she's frequently tried to date upwards and finding men that are either well known or have the potential to provide a very comfortable life. And in this order, you can actually see.
I was actually about to say, that order is very important for why this is a very important case, and not necessarily that goes beyond what their preferences might be in dating, or like some people date casual, etc. This goes beyond that, as just to add to what IT Goatee was saying. It goes beyond the casual dating discourse. This is about, at least for me, it's about, does anyone deserve to have stories made up about them? Like, yeah, we know there's a good and bad of it, but this goes way beyond the good and bad. Is this deserved? What did he do to actually, like, that's why I do kind of take issue with that word. Sorry, I just lost the word in my head. That word invited, that's the one. That word invited, like, who invites this? Will be what I'm saying. But yes, this order will show why this should be punished. But yeah, sorry, continue. Go ahead, IT Goatee.
Yeah, so it might just be better to read this paragraph because it kind of summates things pretty well. The court further finds that petitioner Laura Owens acted unreasonably in the litigation. Specifically, petitioner acted unreasonably when she initiated litigation without basis or merit, without an authentic ultrasound, sonogram, physical examination, and in conjunction with the belief she passed tissue in July 2023. She said she may have had an abortion but didn't get it verified. The court finds the underlying petition premature at best. At worst, however, fraudulent and made to incite communication, a relationship, or both with the respondent. The court further finds that filing a motion seeking mediation for the purpose of telling respondent that the pregnancies were not viable, disingenuous at best, but certainly misleading the court. If the purpose of the motion was in fact to attend mediation, then the petitioner perjured herself today when she said the purpose of the mediation was to tell the respondent about the miscarriage. Either way, the respondent, Clayton Eckerd, likely incurred costs associated with this litigation prior to retaining counsel and isn't entitled to reimbursement for those costs. In this, she says that the likelihood of this was that she wanted to get the benefits of the relationship. And that's certainly what it seems to be.
Benefits of what relationship?
Because he's a good-looking man. He's like 6'5", so he's big. He's got a six-figure income. And he has the notoriety of being the Bachelor. He goes around the country speaking on mental health. So he's a personality that is, one, has notoriety and is growing. So
Here's my question. How did it even get this far in the courts, though? One would think if this woman was claiming I was pregnant at one time with you would think that would be the first roadblock for her, would be to have some sort of paternity test. And if you don't have that, it's done. Why? How did it even get as far?
Because in Arizona currently, there isn't a statute requiring proof of paternity in order to file a paternity case. So she was able to file all of these things, wearing fake moon bumps for her hearings, and by claiming, yes, I am pregnant, without producing any actual medical evidence.
Wow.
So the judges just looked at her appearance and looked at what she was stating, which in a lot of her cases, she was stating, look at me, I'm this, poor little pregnant girl being verbally abused by the man who impregnated me. I'm being abandoned and told to kill the babies by this man who impregnated me. Help me. And when you come at, especially Maricopa, I live in Maricopa County. I've had my fair share of time dealing with these courthouses. When a small female goes up and says, help me, they are going to help her irregardless of how true her story is. Because at that stage of what she was going after, that comes off the best. Let's protect a potential violent or significant issue. This kept going and continuing because she kept asking for more and refused to give the evidence to prove that Clayton Clayton wasn't the father. When she said that she was no longer pregnant, she wanted this all to drop, but she also continued to say, Clayton did X, Y, and Z to me. She called places to get Clayton fired from speaking engagements. It's continued because she has not stopped harassing him.
Yeah.
That's
also,
crazy that it can get to that point without any sort of objective proof. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's also because I'm not sure if this is mentioned. So if I missed it, I do apologize if you mentioned this. But she said that she made up allegations. She literally said that she had a miscarriage for one. For these kids, they just magically, like, Justice Nowhere has a miscarriage and can't have the kids. Like, this is where Johnson was saying that you were saying in regards to baby disappearing, or like, she said that she didn't have a baby. Like, that's what she means. Like, she would say I've got a miscarriage, etc. And here is her medium. Let me just get it up. Let me just share the screen. This is the Medium article that she wrote. Hold up, let me kill this. Damn. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So she wrote this. She wrote this 3 days ago, and I read the other articles that she wrote in regards to the whole. She wrote about cyberbullying, harassment online, or something like that, and it just sounded to me as if somebody. Where did Meat go? Hello.
Hello.
Where did Meat go?
I'm back.
Goatee. Sorry, not Meat. Goatee. Goat. Yeah. Go. That's not the goatee. Oh, what happened?
It said I needed to refresh the screen for whatever reason, but
that's weird.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was attempting to try and say, she claims to have gotten a miscarriage, but in the court order, it notices a pattern. She will drive herself to an urgent care to get a HCG test, which isn't proof positive that she's pregnant, only that she has elevated HCG levels. And that's what they're holding their hat against, is that she has 5 of these HCG tests, which conclusively proves that she's pregnant in their opinion. But it doesn't, because she never got a sonogram to verify it. The one sonogram that she did produce, she admitted to fraudulently changing the location and date on, and then adding her name to the sonogram, when she then claims in court that she went anonymous or under a pseudonym in another state that has no records of having performed such activities on. So it's really weird how she tries to skirt this line of I was pregnant, but he was causing me so much mental distress that I can't leave my house. I can't enjoy my life. I feel terrible. But then she's going to horse jumping competitions. She will drive herself to an urgent care in order to get a HCG test. She'll drive to a lab to be able to get a quantitative HCG test. But she won't go to a Planned Parenthood or an OBGYN to get a sonogram to prove that she's pregnant. And the reason is because if she did that, then they would have a medical evidence to saying that she wasn't pregnant, and then the jig would be up.
Yeah, and that, like I said, is a very important update for this case, because it's not just a false. Like, this was intentional. This is intentional lie. I don't know if you can call it intentional. That's why it's maybe called perjury. But that this is someone that is tampering with evidence, and when I say tampering with evidence, is like they are actually constructing a hoax. Like, they're actually faking important medical information and trying to pass it off from the courts. That's fraud. That's really
And that's my point, though. When I say, I know you take issue with me saying invited. I'm not saying he deserved. Nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves to be gaslit and terrorized for a year of their life just because they had a casual sexual act with someone on the fly. Nobody deserves that. That's not, I didn't mean to imply he deserved it or he got what he deserved or whatever. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, at what point are people going to realize this is the society we live in now? And social media is largely to blame for it, because these people can get notoriety and get attention. Bad attention is still attention. So people who have attention-seeking disorders and personality disorders, they don't care if it's good or bad. And I'm not saying she has a personality disorder because I don't know her, but this doesn't look good for her. But what I'm saying is this is the society we live in. And you ever heard the term defensive driving? You're driving because you want to live, right? You drive defensively unless you're a knucklehead and you're just blowing through stop signs and going 80 in residential areas. But if you are a cautious, smart person, you defensively drive, right? You go the speed limit, you follow the road rules, and you look out for other people who are drinking and driving. You look out for other people who are playing on their phones. It's called defensive driving. So this is the society we live in now. You have to live defensively. You have to stop giving people inroads to do this to your life. And you have to teach your children that. You have to tell them when they start dating, these people are out there, and they don't come with a sign on their forehead, I have a personality disorder and I'm going to fuck up your life. They're not going to say that. They're going to bamboozle you and schmooze you and use their sexuality to get an inroad into your life. And then once they do, they cause all kinds of havoc. That's all I'm saying. It's not about deserving or maybe inviting is a bad word, but you have to live defensively. You have to put up those guards so that these sick people can't get into your life and cause you this sort of headache and havoc. Had he never let her in the door, had he never had casual sex act with her, none of this would happen. She wouldn't have had that. She wouldn't have had that opportunity. She wouldn't have had that open door.
Well, here's where I kind of want to interject and disagree. For him and for Clayton, yes, this incident was a one-time fellatio meetup, but her other victims were actually in relationships with her. One of them was like almost 2 years. So even with men that, have had long-term exclusive relationships with her, when they decide to distance or they decide that the matchup of being in each other's lives is no longer what they want, she does this exact same thing to them. So I think regardless of how May 20th last year played out, say they did hit it off, they didn't hook up, but they started hanging out and they went, did the traditional dating way. At whatever point it became that she rejected him, she would have started this. That is her MO. That is what we've seen with 3 other men. It's not about the ease of getting her hooks in these men. It's she puts in the hooks once they reject her.
Well, I mean, that kind of goes to what I'm saying, though. Just because she got other men to stick around longer doesn't mean that she doesn't have a personality disorder and that she doesn't seek out vulnerable victims to target, specifically men. And we know that men are lonely, right? A lot of men in today's society are lonely. So that just goes to my point. It doesn't disprove that she has a personality disorder, because it sure sounds like she does. I mean, who takes this far? You know, borderline. She sounds borderline. So as soon as someone's done with you, then you go loco on them and wreak all kinds of havoc on them. It's like Jodi Arias. It's like Karen Reed. It's like Jodi Arias. I mean, these are the women that you have to teach your sons to be on guard. You have to teach them the red flags, because these people, although they don't come with a sign on their forehead, they often demonstrate red flags that people overlook. So maybe these other guys that had 2-year relationships with her or whatever, they just overlooked those red flags or excused them, or, you know, had white knight syndrome where, you know, she played the damsel. Sounds like she likes to play the damsel in distress. Like you said, look at me, a poor little girl pregnant here with twins and wearing a fake pregnancy bump. So clearly this is someone who has a lot of problems. So how do all these men keep missing that and still allowing her to wreak havoc on their lives? You know, it's just a point, just food for thought.
Okay, so in this article here that we have that she wrote on Medium just 3 days ago, 9-minute read. So guys, I'll do my best to like keep you guys entertained, you know, so that you don't fall asleep.
What does she look like?
In this
What does she
8-minute.
look like?
This is what she looks like. I can't extend this picture, unfortunately, but that's her there. If you can see, can you see it?
No, I can't. No, I just see you.
Let me try and get her up. Let me. Oh God, I don't think she's that famous on. Sorry, go on.
It's on the stream. It's not showing in Video Ninja specifically.
Here, let me.
Can't you see the screen share, by the way?
No, I can't.
No.
Oh, okay. I'll start again. 1 second. I think. Yeah. Okay. Let me start again.
I see it on the stream, but
can you see it now?
No.
Oh, I don't know then. I don't know. So you haven't been able to see the previous court sanction, did you?
No, this is not a case. I don't watch The Bachelor. I don't watch reality TV, so this wouldn't have been something that flagged for me, that came up on my radar.
I was sharing the ruling, so that's what he was asking.
I did see the ruling. Yes. So Goatee, if you can share a picture of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working on my end. That's a bit weird.
I mean, I'm Googling Laura Owens.
While we do that, CB just wrote, abusers don't typically show their cards until it's too late. And that's a good point. Okay, so it does work. Okay. Do you see it there?
Nice. No.
Still don't see it. Oh.
No, I see the other guest. I saw your other guest. I saw Big Johnson.
Okay, I don't know then. I don't know, but you guys can see it though, right? I see Goatee and you guys can see it. Okay, so it's probably just on your end then. So we'll keep it moving. So let's see what she owed up. So that's not right. Okay, so I closed it down by accident. Oop. Having a booper moment. Sorry guys. Let me get it back up again. All right, let's see.
And she's been referred for prosecution. Oh boy.
Yeah. So that was so she's been referred to by the judge for prosecution for perjury and evidence tampering.
Wow.
And a number of folks who are following the case started a mail-in campaign to try and get the county prosecutor to actually do something with the case. Because just because something gets referred to, it doesn't mean that something's actually going to get done about it.
Yeah.
And it was announced last night that the county attorney is vehemently aware of the case and has assigned an investigator to continue looking into it.
Wow.
How was he vehemently aware? Has he shared that? Has he added to that?
Well, because they had a meetup with the county prosecutor because it's election season for them because they're an elected official, and they had already received hundreds of tags on Twitter, hundreds of numerous amounts of mail that were being sent. So some of them are probably still on their way, but they're going to continue getting them for probably the next week. And then the people who in person showed up at that meet and greet and mentioned, hey, you really need to take a look at this case. So
is she a blonde chick? Is she blonde?
No, she's not.
No, she's
or do you mean the county?
Like why is it so hard to find a picture of her? That's what's weird. Every article is just him.
Because you can't see it. Let me send you the article so that you can go see. But it's because like you can't. The picture is here. Chat? Like we have it on the screen share. It's just that for some reason you can't see it in the studio. I don't know why.
Well, I can't even see it online. I'm Googling and Googling and Googling. Article after article after article is just him.
Can you click on the chat icon underneath?
Oh,
yeah.
And then I posted
gotcha. Okay,
that's her Medium article.
Oh, that's her. Okay, yeah.
Okay, all right. So on the article that we're now looking at, let me just go to.
I like to have a face for the. I like to have a visual.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
So just a few months ago, she wrote an article about cyberbullying.
Yeah. No, that was last year. So this year she wrote an article. Literally 3 days ago. So she wrote an article in regards to the decision against the it's all this is. It says on June 18th, the court ruled that a pregnant woman cannot be considered pregnant unless the judge agrees she is. By the way, what I'm reading here is Laura's own words, and I'm pretty sure that the fact checkers here, if she's lying, they will definitely point something out. So Big Johnson and IT Goatee are going to be passing through this article. I'm filling in the tiny blanks that Laura, I'll give her the maximum benefit of the doubt. Probably forgot to type it in there because she has some kind of forgetful amnesia kind of disorder or whatever. I don't know. But for me, like, catch me, if she says something that's inconsistent or something like that. So he says, yes, you read that correctly. Apparently, in a twist of medical and judicial logic, it is now up to the court, not doctors, to diagnose pregnancy. Despite medical evidence and 99.9% certainty from an OBGYN who has delivered more than 22,000. Who spells OBG? Oh, never mind. 22.
That's how it's spelled.
I didn't know.
Because it's a mixture of two words. It's obstetrics and gynecology. It's those two practices mixed together.
First time seeing it like that. I've heard of OBGYN. I just never seen it like written out. I've never had a child, so unfortunately, maybe that's why. Who knows? But yeah, it says that that I was pregnant. Judge Mata chose to believe the 0.1% chance that my multiple positive pregnancy tests were due to something other than pregnancy. To add insult to injury, she has referred me to Maricopa County attorney for prosecution. Yes, you also read that correctly. The ruling. Hold on a second. The ruling came before I move on. Does she have fans? Does she actually have genuine fans?
She has a small podcast that has a following, but we don't know how many true people she has following her. She posts on Facebook and gets 20 or 30 likes or responses and people saying, keep at it, stay strong, things like that. But it doesn't seem like she has a very large audience.
So it's mainly because of Clayton and his popularity, then I'm guessing, that people have caught into this case.
People caught onto this case because she went to the media. She went to the Sun and said, I'm an anonymous woman and Clayton Echard's done these horrible things to me. And that's how I found it. That's how a lot of other people found the case. because I don't watch The Bachelor or trash TV either. Her persistence in wanting to shame and defame Clayton is what caught the attention here.
That's very important context there, especially for me. Yes, okay. So the ruling came just hours after we notified her of our intention to file a notice for change of judge for cause due to suspected judicial misconduct. Hold up. Judge Matter's father was present during a trial, which, while not illegal, raised concerns. He came out to the hearing and sat opposing side the JusticeFor Clayton court, even allegedly commenting to them that he was an issue. In an email sent to Judge Matter's division, my attorney David Gingras wrote, Ms. Owens has obtained a video of at least one person making his claims, and that person's claim to have directly communicated with Judge Matter's father about this matter. If this claim is true, Ms. Owens believes this may warrant a change of judge for the cause pursuant to family law rule 6.1. So IT Goatee, talk to me about this. What is she going into here?
Basically, they're saying that through conversations that were held after the trial, where allegedly Judge Mata's father was present at the courthouse, saw the things, and then spoke to people about, hey, how did you come to find out about this? And he is alleged to have said something about, my daughter showed me some documents about this, and that is the crux of their case, in that the judge may have been prejudicial in her decision and gave opinions about the case that was presented before the evidentiary hearing and before the ruling.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so sorry, let me just find this article. So I'm not going to read all.
She claims on her medium that she took multiple pregnancy tests.
Yeah.
Including one in front of him.
Yep.
One at home, one at the urgent care, one done in his presence. And then soon after discovered she was pregnant with twins.
Yep.
And that he went silent when it was time to take a paternity test. She said she made 29 requests at a lab that he had previously selected. And then she says when he finally responded, he dared her to reach out to the tabloids.
Him daring her to reach out to the tabloids was her going, you're going to sign a dating contract and agree to date me with intention for a week and explore intimacy, and you're going to respond to me on this, and you're going to respond to me on this, or I'm going to go to the tabloids and tell them what you did and tell my story. And she kept making those threats so often that he went, fine, I don't care. Go to the tabloids, do whatever you have to do. I'm not going to give in to your demands and play your game. So she took that as, he dared me to, he told me to. He said he would if I didn't. No, the man wanted her out of his life and was not willing to play the back and forth harassment game she was trying to grab him into. She sent 500 texts and over 13 phone numbers.
This is like something from a Lifetime movie, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is a Lifetime movie plot. And he claims that he did not penetrate her, that he did not. Okay.
His story has stayed the same from day one, that they did not have penetrative sex. She gave him 2 blowies. And I was back in the days when Laura was on Reddit and the story first came out and people were like, wait a second, like, tell me about this, tell me about that. And she goes, he was high on gummies and invited me over, so maybe he just doesn't remember what happened. And we all went, so that sounds like he couldn't consent and you took advantage of him. And she went, absolutely not. This was 100% consensual. We hooked up. And she released an email of going back and forth with Clayton, where Clayton's like, I do not believe you are pregnant. And when she released that email publicly, she blacked out the area where Clayton said, we did not even have sex. So more info came out as the story produced. We got that full email where he says, we never had sex. You gave me 2 blowjobs. That was it. Well, months of us not, her not being believed, she turned that into, well, he sexually assaulted me. He took advantage of me because I told him I did not want to have sex, and he stuck it in anyways. So she has changed. She has tried to go after every different avenue that she can attack him and make him out to be the bad guy. And for me, all that does is someone who has been essayed, as someone who has been in a domestic violence relationship, all that does is degrade my word and my story and my voice, because she's lying about things that really happened to me. And I don't believe a dang thing that comes out of her mouth because she's told lies before. So what it hurts anyone who's actually gone through those things, because now I'm not going to be believed as much because we see the lies that people like her will tell.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good point. And that's why this case again is very important, because she has to be held accountable for what she has actually been saying. I have always said this, to be honest, this is also in part very surprising. Well, it makes me happy, but cases like this don't get prosecuted too often, especially in the States. I know over here we have perverting the course of justice, so you can't get prosecuted over here, but they've been trying to get rid of that. Seeing recourse like this, seeing the DA, or the county district that are deciding to now pursue charges against her, that's a very good thing in my book. And I think we have to highlight that rather than focus on what he should have done, she should have done. Because at the end of the day, they're like, let's say someone's house is getting robbed or someone, and then something bad happens afterwards. No one is going to think, oh, well, the owner of the house should have locked up tight and
No.
That's
That's apples and
guard
oranges.
the house and make sure that everything is safe. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's apples and oranges. That's apples and oranges. A more appropriate analogy would be if you invited a loser drug addict into your home and then you got robbed. Yes, you did. You invited that. You should know better than to let a loser drug addict into your home. So that's apples and oranges.
But she didn't present herself. She presented herself as this successful businesswoman who was ambitious. She didn't come out with her red flag showing. She came out as like.
But again, this is the world we live in. People are fake. They put on their fake, and you have to be on guard for it.
Okay. Let me ask you a question then. So I've got a friend who there's this woman who's been doing very similar things to my friend because he rejected her. And she publicly went out and said some things. So I stood up for him and said, he's not a bad guy. I'm sorry if he treated you that way. But just because I said something about my friend, this woman has flipped around and has been stalking and harassing me, has shown up at my door, has threatened to kill my dogs, has threatened to harm my family. And I'm currently in litigation fighting to get this woman out of my life. Am I wrong? Was I wrong because I should have known better than to engage with a person who was upset and saying crazy things? Because that's when you say that he should have known better, that's how it's making me feel, that for standing up to be a good person.
But again, it's apples and oranges. You standing up for your friend. But it is. What you're doing by standing up for your friend is noble. Her harassment of you is completely out of line. And of course you didn't ask for that. But we're talking about a man having a casual sex act with a woman, completely inappropriate.
No, let's
back up a minute.
That's why.
Let's back up a minute. Who was selling their home? Him? Her?
No.
He's a real estate agent.
He's a real estate agent, and she was selling her home, or claimed she was?
She wants to buy property because she wanted to be in the Airbnb rental business.
And so he met with her under the auspices of a business?
No. They had actively looked for houses, and after looking for some houses, they had developed this customer-client relationship, and she was sending him lewds. She was being flirtatious through text messages. And then after a few days of looking at Scottsdale real estate, then he had invited her over. So it wasn't just a matter of him like preying upon a client.
No. I'm not saying he preyed upon a client, but this certainly was a business arrangement to begin with, right?
At the start of it,
At the start of it, it was a business arrangement. Look, I'm just going by, I don't know this story, okay? You're the one who opened with, he met her under a business arrangement and got 2 blowjobs from her. That's scummy behavior, and that is opening the door for some crazy. Look, if we're not going to take these stories, but let me finish. It's not excuse making. If we're not going to take these stories, as awful as they are, and use them as teaching moments, then what's the point? Then we're just gossiping. Then we're just empty gossiping about tragic stories. But if you're not willing to take them and use them as teaching moments and say to other men, especially young men, look what can happen when you behave this way, just don't do it.
Why are the men the ones who need to learn this lesson and not the women? The women need to be the ones who need to be held accountable and held at a higher standard to not be treating men this way. It's not a gender issue. It's a shitty human behavior issue.
It is a shitty human behavior issue. But if you're a good person and a shitty person, and you open the door for a shitty person based on just that alone, getting a blowjob from some woman you don't even know, I'm sorry. My sympathy meter runs a little low there. Everything he's been through, totally unwarranted. Everything she's done, totally horrible and evil. I'm not saying it's warranted. I'm not saying women like her, that we shouldn't raise our daughters better. I'm not saying that, because certainly there are completely scary sociopathic men walking among us too that we have to warn our daughters about. But just this story, on the basis of the facts I was told, he met this woman under the auspices of a business arrangement, got 2 blowjobs casually from her, and then it all went chaotic from there. Had he just not done it, had he just had more respect for himself, more respect for her, none of this would have happened. She wouldn't have had that inroad. So if we're not willing to use it as a teaching story, all we're doing is empty gossip. We're just gossiping over the horror that people go through their lives.
So is the lesson you want men to learn to not have premarital sex? Is that... Because that's a religious and moral standpoint that I don't think applies here. I don't think it's fair to say that Clayton wouldn't have had to go through any of this if he wasn't a slut who let some chicks like his dick.
It does apply here. It does, because that's how you open the door for crazy people.
I will have to add to the point that I don't think you're seeing this as serious, because this is abuse. Let's just be straight. You don't understand the amount of emotional stress that comes from having someone falsely accuse you and then try to get you dragged through the courts.
But
so
they
that
can't
not
falsely
only,
hold on,
let me finish.
Open the door.
Okay.
So is he supposed to be alone for the rest of his life? Is he never supposed to date? Sorry.
Okay. What you're missing here is, if this is an abuse victim and they have been abused, they invited that person to your life. Are you going to say that she should have been perceptive, or he should have been perceptive enough to see the red flags as it happened? What are we actually trying to argue here?
Listen, I'm not queen of the world, so I can't tell people how to live their lives. I can only say use these stories as teaching moments for yourself. However people take it is how they're going to take it. I'm not saying people have to listen to me. I'm not saying this guy has to be celibate. I'm not saying this guy can't have premarital sex. I don't care. But understand, this is the world we live in. What is the point of being Pollyanna and denying that this is the world and these people walk amongst us? You can beat your fists in the air and say these people shouldn't walk amongst us. These abusive, gaslighting people shouldn't walk amongst us. The fact of the matter is that they do. So people have to be on guard. They have to live defensively now in this world that we live in. 30, 40 years ago, this kind of stuff would have been scandalous and unheard of. People weren't necessarily doing this to the degree that they are now. And social media has made it that much worse because they get all kinds of attention for doing it. Whereas 30 years ago, there was no social media and they didn't get attention. These things happened sort of in vacuums around the country and you never heard about them, but you hear about them now. What I'm saying is, if you're going to talk about stories like this, you're going to look into stories like this, you're only empty gossiping if you're just talking about how horrible it is. Teaching moment. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that I'm a a dictator and that everybody should live the way I say they should live. But on the flip side of this,
but you are making it a very moral issue, which this
of
is
course
not
it's a
about
moral
morality.
issue. What she's done is immoral.
So you're saying Clayton should have done something different, and that's where it's absolutely incorrect.
Yes, he should have lived defensively. If he hadn't,
no, that's your again. That's your that's your philosophy. This is not philosophical.
Philosophy. I can only give mine. I can't give anyone else's, so I'm not going to change.
I completely I completely
you.
understand that. I completely understand that. But this case is not about philosophy. It's not about whether someone.
I choose to make it about philosophy. How about that? I choose to. That's how. I can't think any other way. You want me to go along with just empty gossiping, and I don't do that.
Okay, you keep saying it's empty gossiping. You just learned about this case today. So can I educate you on further points on
I was
this?
coming on to talk about Karen Reed, and I get blasted with this story I know nothing about, and I feel I'm being polite chiming in at all.
Can I educate you on the fact that we are not just idly gossiping about this, that we actually have taken steps, that we're not trying... This is not just gossip to talk about this woman. We are wanting to get more attention brought to this case, and with the attention brought to this case by the content creators who have put their own livelihoods at risk to do so, we were able to raise funds to get Clayton an attorney. We were able to raise funds to get a laptop to analyze that proof that she perjured herself in court. Can I finish what I'm saying, please?
Guys.
You said he makes six figures. What does he need fundraising for?
Okay, guys, guys, we are missing the point here because we are going to go on to Karen Reed soon. So, but what I'm saying is we are missing the point. Like, sorry, not we. I believe you are missing the point in regards to what's actually going on here, because what actually is going on is consequences for an action. This is not about worldviews. This is not about what he should have done or what should have happened. Like, end of the day, I don't want to go too graphic, but even if a woman walks on the street naked, like streaking, I'm talking naked, it doesn't give someone an excuse to go and rape her just because that's what's going on here.
No, that's
like it is on that level. No,
two completely incomparable things. And look, I'm not missing any point. What is the point of drawing attention? Help me understand. What are we drawing attention to? That
We're drawing attention to the fact that she's done this numerous times and she will continue to do so. We're drawing a fact to the point that Maricopa County does not protect its actual victims and take steps to prevent this from from happening again. We're drawing attention to the fact that we need to change our laws and our procedures so that these situations cannot occur again. It is not up to me or to Clayton or any other victims to change our behavior and be less trusting and less willing to open our lives to people in order to prevent these things from occurring. What we need to do is make bigger consequences and stand behind them, so that people who do shitty things have to face the wrath of
and
God.
She is. She's going to be prosecuted.
Which would not have happened and did not happen with her other three victims because there was not light on this case. This case did not have the attention and it was able to slip through the cracks. Now that people have their eyes on it, now that it's in the media, now the judges can't let it go away. Now the county attorney cannot just slip it under the books and let it disappear. Now it will be addressed and now changes can happen. That's the point of talking about this case.
Right.
Well, how often does this happen?
It's happening to me and my friend right now. The girl who's attacking me did it 2 years ago. Laura's been doing this for 10 years. How often? It happens every day.
Okay, you need to calm down.
I don't know why you
How often does this happen where women are faking pregnancies and it's getting to this point? How often does that happen in this country?
Yeah, but I want to ask you a question.
I mean, it's insane to me it even got to this point.
Okay. Are you opposed to the consequences coming for her?
Absolutely not. She should go to my opinion, she should go to jail for wasting the court's time. 100%.
Okay. And all I'm saying is that's what is going to happen now. That opportunity never would have existed if this didn't happen to Clayton.
I don't know about that's a leap. That's a leap.
What do you mean that's a leap?
That's kind of a leap. I don't know if it never would have happened.
That's literally what Big Johnson has just said.
I don't know. You'd have to show me some sort of study on how often this happens in courts around the country.
Right now that she's being taken to court for her actions.
You have to prove you're pregnant to get welfare benefits. So maybe Maricopa just has some backwards things that they're doing, but you'd have to show me that this case and this case alone is going to have some dramatic. It's going to have some dramatic change on the landscape of our legal system in terms of women faking pregnancies, which is kind of a one-off. This is so rare. It's kind of shocking because this doesn't. No,
just because you're ignorant to it doesn't mean that it's rare.
Right.
No, I've never heard of a woman getting to this point. I mean, you have to prove you're pregnant to get welfare benefits. So you have to prove you're pregnant.
You don't think people
prove you're pregnant to get.
Hold on a second. Hold on. And you don't think people fraudulently apply for those benefits, say that they are like going through a pregnancy when they haven't? This woman literally, there is evidence of her falsifying a sonograph. That's why the criminal charges are being pursued against her.
And it's absolutely correct. And it's absolutely correct that they should be. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. So I don't know what the argument is.
Let's say, because I know you like philosophy and all that, let's say that this is the first person to ever do it. The first person. You have all this proof. Like, why on earth are you looking at, well, it's so rare, so let's not talk about it? This is something that you cannot ignore because it will remain rare. Because what this is showing here is the other three men, as said to by, like, they all slipped through her grasp. And then she got on to Clayton. That's the pattern. That's the timeline. That is something that should be brought to light, no matter what the number is, no matter how many people are from it, that you can objectively prove because it's on paperwork, no matter how that is.
But you're asking me to form an opinion based on these other cases, these other men. I know nothing about them. I know nothing. So I can't form opinions on that. The only opinion I can form on what you've given me right now, this moment, with this story, with this guy, is that the only opinion I can form. I don't know what she's done in her past. I don't know this woman. That's why I wanted to Google her and look at her. I'm not going to form some extreme opinion beyond the courts appear to be handling it. She's going to be prosecuted, referred for prosecution. Somebody said vehemently, she's going to vociferously. She's going to be prosecuted. That's a done deal. I can't help the way my brain thinks. My brain thinks right back to square one when he had casual sex. It was unnecessary. He didn't need to do it. He had no intentions of committing or being in a relationship with her, but yet he made himself vulnerable. And so you have to live defensively. And believe me, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, I did not. I made a lot of stupid mistakes, but things were very different 30 years ago. We did not have the internet. We live in a very different world now. That's all I'm saying. I can't help the way my brain thinks. I can't help where I go. You might take offense to me going to a moral position, but that's where I go. Because that was square one. Without him doing that, none of the rest would have followed. She would not have had that inroad, and he would not have been victimized. So you have to live defensively. You have to in this day and age. Would I walk down the street naked? No, I would not.
Let's say that you walk down the street. Let's walk down the street with you. Let's say that you walk down the street and the light is green. So you now walk onto that street, and then someone hits you. Are you saying that person shouldn't have walked onto the street just because this first person ever? Oh, don't worry about it. Traffic lights aren't bad. People like people driving too fast aren't bad. Like, sometimes, like, what I'm trying to say is, you are not taking what's going on here as serious because for some reason, and I think the reason why you're saying all these things is because as the same fear that Big Johnson has in regards to her not being believed, you have the same fear, but you're putting the blame on him when really and truly,
I never said that.
Person, no, you actually are. You blame this guy. Hold on a second.
I'm not blaming him at all. I'm not blaming him at all.
You literally said,
I'm saying from a common sense perspective, had he not met up with her and allowed her into his life on an intimate level,
let me ask you this question.
None of this would have happened.
Kay, can I ask you this question then? Is it his fault that he said hi to her?
Oh, shut up. Look, this is dumb.
Oh
Can
no!
you
Don't
we
just
started.
let me
defend
read?
yourself.
This is dumb. Is it his
Let's have a
fault he said
conversation.
hi to her?
Was it
I
his
mean,
fault?
come on.
Kay,
Come on, that's a
Kay,
straw man
Kay.
argument. You know it. Is
No.
it his fault
Kay.
he said hi to her? As
Kay.
if saying hi
Kay.
is the same as receiving 2 blowjobs. Give me a break.
He invited her. She sent him provocative pictures, engaged in conversation with him, and then he invited her over. That is normal adult behavior.
Oh, really? That's normal
other.
adult behavior. Maybe in your world, but it's not in mine. So, and it's not in the lives of the people I know. So that's not normal
That's
behavior.
not-
That's
What
how
is your
that's
demographic,
how
Ken?
problems
What is
begin.
your demographic, Kay? How old are you and what area of the country do you live in? What is your demographic, please?
I'm not answering you. That's none of your business. I'm not
Okay,
answering
well,
you.
I'm
Well, are
asking
you East
you
Coast,
because
West
Clayton
Coast?
and I are in our 30s. This is my demographic. I
Okay,
live in
well, then
Maricopa
maybe
County
your
where you live.
demographic
This
needs
is my
to rethink-
demographic.
Maybe your demographic needs to rethink how they're conducting themselves.
Victim blamer! Holy fuck!
Wow.
Holy fuck, Kay!
So telling people to be better, just live better. Just be better
What did he
people.
say?
That's
Like-
victim
Having
blaming.
sex does not make me a bad person.
Well, that's your opinion. I think when you engage in casual sex as a man with a woman you have no intentions of committing to, you open the door for problems.
How do I know I want to continue a relationship with someone if I know how good they are in bed?
Ew. Yeah.
This is
You
what
can
I like.
have that opinion, but I have a right
That's right.
to
Okay,
decide
fine, great. Then
if
go
I want to
ahead.
have someone in my
Then
life
don't
long
cry
term.
victim when some crazy guy screws and causes chaos in your life. Then don't play victim.
What am I playing victim on? Not to some guy I screwed, to some girl who got mad at a different guy who screwed her. That you are so missing the point on these conversations because you are so upset of people engaging in premarital sex.
I'm not upset.
That is ridiculous.
I'm not
It is
upset
such
about
a
people
ridiculous
engaging-
stance you were taking.
I'm not upset at all. I'm giving you common sense. If you want to avoid chaotic people in your life, then don't invite them in your life.
Okay, so
How are we
in that
supposed to know
case-
people are chaotic until they're in our lives?
You don't
How are you
jump
supposed to-
right into getting blowjobs from them. That's how you get to know them
You
before you
don't
become
police what
intimate.
people do behind closed doors.
Okay, then people
Okay,
will do what they want to do, and they will cause chaos in their lives.
And getting a blowjob does not excuse her taking him to court, uprooting his life, calling his job, getting him fired,
Okay.
trying to get him reported to the board. The reaction she has had to the action he took of taking his pants off does not correlate. That is the crux of the problem.
No, of course it doesn't correlate, and of course it didn't give her, but he did it. He did it. He welcomed it. He invited it. He did it. Had he not done it, it wouldn't have happened.
Okay,
He has the control stick. He was point A. Everything else that happened after that was because of that act.
So to prevent another man from getting into this situation again, what is your advice? How would you say at the time how should Clayton have acted?
Men should live defensively and not drop their draws for every succubus who comes along. Why is that so outrageous?
How are we supposed to identify succubus?
Because
How
you
are they
get to know
identified?
them before you drop your drawers.
How do
She
you identify
literally
them
said,
with them?
well,
Before you drop
well,
your drawers, how do you
well.
identify a succubus?
How do you identify them? I mean, are you just completely lacking any radar?
Kay.
I'm asking you for
Okay,
legit
but your
answer,
guys'
Kay.
story
You're
doesn't
speeding
make
around the
sense. Your
question.
guys' story doesn't make sense because you're telling me that she's done this to 3 other guys. So that's how he should have known. He should have gotten to know her. He may have learned about those 3 other guys, and then before he dropped his drawers, and then
not
said,
how
"You know
fraud
what?
works.
He's trouble.
That's
I'm running for
literally
the
not how
hills."
fraud works, which is what she's being charged with now. That's legit not how fraud works.
But you just said to me she had 3 other guys,
Yes,
2 that were in
because she
long-term
fraudulent-
relationships. So had he gotten to know her, he would have learned this, right?
No,
How would he?
because
You
we
didn't tell about
didn't
the
know
guys.
about each other until Clayton's
We
case
live in
came
the
out.
day of social media. You don't think these other men may have reached out to him and said, "Hey, man, she's doing this and that to me." You don't think this guy, this Clayton, has a brain that he could have figured out she had other lawsuits or other things she was doing? Yeah, clearly he doesn't have a brain. He was thinking with his
pull
small head.
background checks
Hey,
on
hey,
folks.
hey.
She has 2 orders of protection against different men. They were shamed into silence on a number of issues.
But background checks are public knowledge. You can look them up. So again, you're proving my point. He dropped his drawers without knowing a thing about her.
No, you don't background check everyone in society. That's just not how people function.
But that's called defensive living. When you get into relationships with people nowadays, you have to know who you're dealing with.
That's not the discussion that we should be having here. This is exactly
okay.
No.
Oh, well, then it's going to continue to happen. Then people will continue to be stupid in their private lives and relationships that they get in, and people will continue to teach their kids that it's okay to just engage in casual sex with anyone, anytime, anywhere. Be damned the consequences. Who cares? You never know who you're getting involved with, getting naked with. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And then just play victim. When the person turns out to be
consequences for sex is not a litigious monster who upends your entire life. That is not a possible consequence for sex.
It's a possible consequence, right? It's a possible.
So is dying every time I get in my car. Does that mean I should never drive my car again?
That's why you drive defensively and carefully, so that you don't die.
And I've been hit sitting at a parked light with two other cars get into a crash and it hits mine and damages my car. What was I supposed to do then? I was just collateral damage in that accident. Same with these men. You are putting the responsibility on prevention on the victims, and that is infuriating to me.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's
no. I have to interject.
Your brain is not common.
Wait a minute. Is it putting responsibility on a victim to avoid being victimized if they tell you to when you go into a bar to watch your drink? Is that wrong to tell women to watch their drinks because they could be poisoned and raped?
K. Marie.
Is it? No, I want her to answer. Big Johnson, when we tell our daughters to watch their drinks in a bar, are we putting responsibility on a potential victim to avoid being a victim?
Okay.
Go ahead and
what
answer,
you're saying.
Dr. Hines.
Can she answer that or not?
No,
if you
Dr. Hines wants to speak. Excuse me. Dr. Hines would like to speak. This is his channel. We're going to let him speak, and then I'll answer your question.
He doesn't want to answer.
With every respect, do respect that this channel is mine. I just want to say that. If I'm trying to speak, do respect that and give me the time to speak. I don't try to talk over anyone here. I've never tried to do that. If I do, I say sorry and then I let them speak. But I just want to make that clear, okay? Do respect the channel for that, and please don't speak over anyone. Now, in regards to this, it is not your fault, because this is what you're trying to say. If someone doesn't look both ways before crossing the road and got hit, you are basically saying it's their fault they got hit because they didn't look both ways. This is not the conversation to have it. Like you can talk about that when they are probably healed from, but we are not even anywhere near that stage where we can look at where did he go wrong, what was the red flags and all those things. We're not there. We have just been hit. Do you talk to a person that's just been in an abusive situation, gets out of it, and then you're like, well, you shouldn't have picked him? Do you talk to him at that point?
I'm not talking to Clayton, but I'm not talking to Clayton. So I'm not having a conversation.
I get that.
You're talking over me now. Can I speak? I'm not saying that you tell someone who gets hit that it's, quote, their fault. I'm not saying that. I would never say that to someone who got hit by a car just because they didn't look.
What you are saying is don't get hit. But what you are saying is,
you're speaking over me and not letting me finish my point. What I say to my children is to always look both ways.
I feel bad for your children.
That's giving my children the tools to protect themselves. What is it you don't understand about that?
Because you would tell those same children that didn't look both ways and got hit by the car, you would say, well, I told you not to look both ways.
No, I wouldn't say that.
So why are you saying that
now about Clayton?
No.
Yeah.
You're saying the same exact thing that you would tell your children,
okay, fine.
Is what's making me see like you're not like, it's either you're protecting an ideology that you hold already.
That's
or
right.
you
That's
generally
right.
don't
And you can reject it. I don't care. Reject it.
It's not about rejecting, or it's not about rejecting.
But I'm not going to have the three of you beating me up for my ideology. This is my ideology. He was stupid. He was stupid, and he invited a crazy woman. End of story.
Okay, I hear you. No one is actually coming at you or doing anything like that. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is what you are saying objectively is not the thing to be focusing on here, because without this being called out, there will be more and more people emboldened to do this because it is not being called out. They can do it and know that they have a high likelihood of actually getting away with it, like she has with the other 3 men. This is the first time something has actually been done to prevent it. So I would want people to see this and be like, this is going to happen to you. This is what's in that details here. Learn from her tactics so that you can do this, etc. We can look at that, but when you're framing it on what they should have chosen to do, as in, oh, maybe you shouldn't have premarital sex. Oh, that's not the issue. What they were not perceptive to, which I don't think anyone can be blamed for this, is a fake sonogram. I don't think anybody deserves a fake sonogram being made against them. And that has to be done so that when you go through the sonogram, you can actually be like, actually, doctor, could you please do this multiple test and see whether it's like, or you can act quicker if you're going through this. That's the way I would advise someone, and still understand that they're still the victims in this situation, because you are forgetting that he actually is a victim. It's not about him crossing the road.
Can I
and not
speak
looking
now?
both ways.
Can
It's
I
not
speak
about
now?
that.
I think
Yes,
you're
please.
wasting your time thinking that you're going to somehow reason with the crazy people out there on the internet that they shouldn't take the path she's taken and do what she did. Crazy. It doesn't work that way. The
No
crazy
one's gonna
people
do that.
watching aren't going to learn from this woman's mistakes. They're not going to, because they're crazy. We walk
No one's
amongst
thinking
these
that we
people.
can change a crazy person's perspective. We want to change the court's perspective on how they address paternity and protective order cases. And we want to warn those people who haven't had to experience someone as litigious and psychotic as this woman to be aware that there are types of people out there like her. That's not saying that it's like Clayton shouldn't have done what he did. It's to say, hey, this is how far things can go when women really want to take advantage of you. We know that it is an absolute pointless battle to try and get Laura to admit and to say, you know what, I did this wrong and this isn't how I should treat people. That's very much aware. She's doubled down, tripled down. She's not going to give that in and say, you're right, I lied and I shouldn't have done this over 10 years to all these different men. What we can do and what we are fighting to do is to get the procedure changed in Arizona so women cannot start paternity cases as early as she did without proof of pregnancy coming directly from a doctor and not the photoshopped sonograms that she tried to present. We want it so that there is better communication between the protective orders, because she's had them in California, she has them in different counties here. In Arizona, where I live, we have the Superior Court and we have the Municipal Court. And if you get a protective order at the Municipal Court, it does not show up at Superior Court and you cannot pull up all of the details from it. So she has gone to multiple different judges, and we have the proof of her going to multiple different courthouses. And when she doesn't get a protective order served, she goes to a different judge and tries again with a stronger story. That is what we are trying to prevent. It's not about changing her and convincing her she did something wrong. It's about changing the courts and making them aware of
But you're
what
not
she
going
has
to
been
change the
doing
courts.
wrong.
No,
You're not
no.
going to
Yes, we
change the
will.
courts. You're not going
Yes,
to change
we
the courts
will.
online. No, you don't. It has to be done crass. It
They're
has to be
actually
done
doing it
grassroots.
right now.
It has
They
to
are
be done
pursuing
grassroots.
this case. The case is being pursued right now as we speak. That's why she's wrote
Because
this
of
article.
people like me.
And
We
but
are
it's
making
done,
these changes.
it's done grassroots. It's done with state representatives. It's done by voting. It's done. It's not done by just idle gossip on a
Yeah,
YouTube
but
channel.
people still. Yeah, but that I
You
don't think
think
you
it's
realize.
idle
Hold
gossip?
on.
Go ahead.
Big Johnson, Kay.
Yep.
I don't think you're realizing that is now in the court's attention to do something about those votes that happened before. They now are aware of this, so that the people that they've been voted in, because you're now moving into something is not equatable.
Well,
These
great,
are people
fabulous.
that
It's
actually
moving through the
no,
court.
no,
Great,
Kay, please don't
fabulous.
speak
It's
over me.
moving through the court.
Please don't speak over me, please don't speak over me. Right, what's happening right now is the courts are now seeing this case because someone of notoriety has finally brought it into them, and they're now referring it. That's a big thing for a court to refer to a DA for a conviction from, what was it, a family law case, right? It was from family law court, was it?
Yes, it
Big
was.
Johnson. Yeah. So coming from that court to go to a criminal court, like likely to go to a criminal court, there's a lot of merit to this. That should be highlighted to deter people, not just to only to deter people, but hold the people that do this accountable and use the system in their benefit. Because there's a reason why she has been able to escape 3 protective orders. It is not about Clayton here at all in any way. He didn't do anything wrong by talking with this woman. He didn't do
just
anything wrong. No.
talk
This is not
with
the
her.
time.
He
This
didn't
is not the
just talk. Well, then why'd you have me on your show? If you're just going to direct what I can and cannot say. And if you Google if it's illegal to fake a pregnancy test, yes, it is. And women like her have already been prosecuted across the country. And if you give me 5 minutes, I will find multiple such cases where the woman was prosecuted for faking a pregnancy test and for it getting to this point. So it's not true. It's not true that poor Clayton is the first victim of this, and it's now being drawn attention to the courts. I pulled up an article from The Atlantic from 2013.
Weird. That contradicts what you said a minute ago, that this is a one-off case and you've never heard of it before. If you're so quickly able to Google how many times this has happened in court.
What I meant by one-off is it being a reality star. But this happens with common people. This has happened before.
It also happened with Trevor Bauer, who's also in Maricopa County, who's a professional athlete.
Well, it sounds like Maricopa County is the problem then. Good luck solving it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I can't opine about Maricopa County. I can't opine about the court. Well, so are you. Because you want to just degrade my opinion on the morality of this and tell me that I'm not allowed to have it.
This is someone,
and you want to shame me for having my morality opinion, although it's somehow just outrageous now to have an opinion about morality and to tell men that it's wrong to take advantage of women sexually, that they have no intention of having any commitment with. It's just outrageous now to say that. You want to shame me and back me into a corner and accuse me of victim blaming. Now you're talking over me. I'm done. Now you're talking over me and telling me to shush after telling me not to talk over you. So now I am done. Goodbye.
Wow. Okay. Rage quit. All right.
And this stream just got better.
I am so sorry, Dr. Hines, about losing my cool, but by golly.
Wow.
Wow.
That was an interesting lesson because I actually wanted to hear her opinions in regards to Karen Reed. Now, because I would love to know how she would think the husband in this case should have been got hit by the car. Then, if that was because she believes she's guilty. Yeah. I was going to ask her that question, and now she's not even here to answer it because I would have loved to know. Oh, now you tricked me. I didn't trick you to anything. I literally, I tricked you to speaking. Is that what happened? Wow. Right. So.
Alrighty then.
That was unexpected. I do apologize. Look, there will be people like this because the way I know her is from discussing Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And she believes that Amber Heard was the victim in that situation. So I am kind of not surprised.
Wait. How did you find someone so backwards on so many things?
That's my charm. I kind of know the fringe voices, but she's blocked me now, which saying because I tricked her. Apparently, I don't understand. I didn't hear her views on Karen Reed, which. I mean, you guys, gosh, I would have loved to know our views about Karen Reed, but Clayton was not. No one asked her to did I ask her for no, I'm not trying to be rude here, but I don't believe I asked her, what does she think about, was that how this started? Did I?
No,
go on.
I think what it comes down to is, yes, what I tell my son to do and try to impact moral society is, yes, you wouldn't do something like this for Clayton. However, putting someone else and telling them they should hold the same moral standard as you is completely different.
Mhm.
The idea that Clayton got into a situation, but then this woman who's been doing this to multiple men has been weaponizing the court system, both in California and in Arizona. It's not just a Maricopa County thing. The being able to use the court to shame her victims because they did not want to date her. Mental health aspect out of the way, there is a point, and one of the things that I've been saying to numerous people is that the court's paternity system should, one, require a clinically proven pregnancy, and it should be done after the first trimester. It's common sense legal reforms that would be able to help make this situation not happen further. And as a man, if some lady goes down on you twice, you wouldn't expect them to then suddenly claim that they're pregnant.
Exactly.
Yep. I couldn't have said it better myself because but yeah, so um uh I I want to know that, I mean, Jesus Christ, how do I return to this after that little? So I'll
So,
do my best and try. I'll do my best
wi-
and say, no, I was gonna say hit the like button.
yeah, hit the like and subscribe.
Hit the like button and also don't, subscribe as well, so that you can see more. Can I even advertise this? More madness like this? I didn't want to. This is not the show that I wanted. That's not why I like she knew that you guys were coming, but she didn't know anything about the case. She told you that herself.
Well,
So
I had posted in the chat the YouTube video for the court hearing to say,
yes,
if you want
yes,
to understand
yeah,
this court hearing, then Shizzy Wasnt boosted the audio for the court and published it so that everyone can see, and you can make your own determinations based on the evidence that was given in court. And now that we're in a post-court phase, we're seeing that her lawyer is out of town on vacation and she's left to her own devices. In one of her articles that she wrote today, she says she feels more empowered than she has since February because she's been told that she needs to stop putting things out on the media because it could in the future harm cases that are against her, because she keeps doubling, tripling down, digging her heels in, making these claims, even though a court has found that she is, one, not only lied in multiple cases, but also that the evidence that she creates and fabricates, even though she tested positive on HCG test, does not conclusively prove that she was pregnant.
Exactly.
absolutely. And having reform so that it stops you from doing this. I don't understand how you can still turn around and look at the victim of the situation. Maybe she doesn't see him as the victim in the situation, but he 100% is, like 100% in him, like a victim, because end of the day, she still did the wrong thing. She still is the person that went out, lied, went to this level of lying. That should be the focus, not him and how he shouldn't have got his dick wet or whatever. Like, okay, like what are we doing? And you know what smacks me in the face, because I didn't want to have that conversation so badly, but I am 6 years celibate. I take the most issue with her argument, because it doesn't really matter if I was to decide at that moment to have sex before we get married, and then she goes around and uses that against me, and she promised me marriage. What is she going to say? I would love to know. I should have asked her that. Why is this great question coming to me at this point? Damn. Because end of the day, this could have happened to me, and for some reason that's my fault. That is my fault, and I've been clean, like without, I call it clean, but it's not really like about cleanliness here or what's right or wrong, because I could have done that and it would still happen to me. So it really doesn't matter. Like, ooh, oh, damn! I wish you were here. I wish you didn't block me. I mean, I really don't care about getting blocked. By the way, I just want to put it out there. I actually don't. But if you didn't, I would have been able to like show you how this person acts. There's a wiki page, I think here. Let me just go for it. There's a wiki page in regards to. Let me get it up. Oh god, think I shared the wrong wiki page. Oh, no.
Well, I
Yeah. So yeah. Go on. A wiki page in regards to the whole timeline of this event. Sorry, IT Goatee, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I've been told in Discord that I may have insinuated that there was articles posted today. No, it's the past 72 hours. There's been 3 articles posted, so there isn't a new article to my knowledge.
Yeah. Gosh. Let me try. Also, let me try and get it up. Yeah. So as I was saying, there is a Justice for Clayton Wikipedia article that has detailed all of her actions, which is why she's writing these articles in the first place. She's denying it. She's saying no, that's not what happened, this and that, and contesting anyone that has found proof of what she's done wrong. Like I cannot believe like someone would actually argue that this wrong is whether they morally deserve it or not. I can't believe someone would even think of making that argument. But here we are. Oh gosh, I think hold up. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me get it up. So this is the wiki article I was telling you about. All the timeline is there.
Yeah, and not
all the
only for
timeline.
Clayton's timeline, it also goes into Mike Maricini and Greg Gillespie.
Yeah, and flipping heck. I feel like I have to say sorry for you guys because we know that there is emotional attachment into this case because it affects us uniquely. I've been falsely accused. Like it's happened.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For a system that's designed to protect women, because for hundreds of years, women were seen as an entity that needed to be protected because they were inferior to men. So the justice system crafted laws to be able to protect them, and they were given an amount of deference to things that they were saying. And this woman has used the court's deference to her own advantage to be able to force these men into positions that they didn't need to be in.
Well said, Brad. Well said.
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's infuriating. Like you said, it's emotional for me because I am a strong woman. I'm very independent. And for someone to take advantage of the things that, the advantages women are given because they typically are seen as inferior. It's like, no, I work really hard to be an equal, to be a strong person. And to say that on top of, the court system already leaning towards women and women being stronger on top of that, to say that still the unbalance is that men are doing something more wrong, and especially in this example, it doesn't logically add up to me how she got to that conclusion.
I wanted her to say that is because of her beliefs about women and how they should be viewed, etc. Because I think that plays a massive part. I wanted to ask her about that, and I think she knew it was coming because, again, I know her and I know her background. I didn't expect that to be the same thing here because I told her we're going to talk about Karen Reed. I don't know where she, I don't know why she jumped in because you were explaining something and then she just comes in and asks very innocently as well, like, ask questions about it and then bang, out of nowhere. We are victims of that. We didn't accept that. I didn't make that. She broke that rule. I don't know. I don't know. But that's my fault for bringing her on, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know how to play that.
I love an opposing view. I think it makes a great conversation when conversation can be had. But the delving into the judgment aspect and not the content of the conversation, you derail quick. Right.
So we are gonna get to Karen Reed. Unfortunately, like we are gonna get to that because there's been interesting developments in that courtroom. It would have been interesting to hear what she had to say because those developments seem to be very key for the defense. So it would have been interesting to hear what she had to say in regards to that. I did not expect the rage quit. I honestly believe that I've never seen her do it. I've never seen her I've seen her stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't expect
Unfortunately,
that.
Unfortunately, Doctor, I do need to. I need to bounce, and I don't have
Okay.
anything for Karen Reed because I haven't been following it. But
No, no, that's fine. That's fine. But it will be after we've covered all of this. So I appreciate your time. Whenever you can, how long you can stay for. So like feel free to bounce at any time, and I hope that you can stay for as long as possible. But
no, no, I appreciate it, but I do need to go. So thank you so much for the invite.
Great
Okay,
to see you
no
again,
worries.
Brad.
Thank you.
Yep.
Gonna see you, Brad. It's just us two. I'm sorry.
Just
I'm
the two
sorry.
of us.
Oh gosh. So god damn. Brian was is the brain of the show. Well, not show. Sorry, the case. Sorry. So I'm kind of sad that he's not here to give an insight, extra insights that we may have not covered last week. But the show must go on. The show must go on. Let me
Show must
try and get yes. Oh, what did I? Okay, so in regards to that, he had the. Do you have? I mean, do you have the? Sorry, do you have the order? Sorry, he had it, but Annie was sharing his screen. Do you have the order that was written?
I can pull that up.
Yeah, just to go through it once more. But while you're putting that up, I'll just go straight into the articles here by Laura. Sorry, yeah. So this is the article that she wrote when judges play doctors, and yeah, and she was basically lamenting about how this case is now is now going to um go forward. But what's here is um she's kind of like misrepresenting all of this, in my opinion. It says in Maricopa County alone, approximately 25% of paternity cases filed each year in the alleged father being excluded as the biological parents. This means thousands of women annually file paternity cases where the DNA test later proved the man is not the father. Are we seriously suggesting that these women should be sanctioned, forced to pay attorney fees, and denied the ability to dismiss their cases is being wrong, truly fraud? The court's mission is to seek justice, seek the truth and ensure justice, not to penalize for genuine errors or the deficient. What she actually doesn't know in all that is the fact of everything that she did in regards to faking a sonogram. That's not there, conveniently. I don't know why that's not there, but that's not there. And also, you don't have having this miscarriages. It's like she just forgot that she had miscarriages. She could have said, like, when I confirmed no longer pregnant, where's the miscarriage? Okay, but how are you no longer pregnant? So if you're a new individual reading this, and this is your first article, you might not see this, and you think, oh my gosh, why she? Well, for one, she wouldn't lie about this. So again, this is why this is really, really important. This is why this is really important to highlight, because end of the day, not only is it as basic as this happens, but it's also that the courts had no idea this happened, because no one is shining light on it. How do you miss that? But let me just go to the chat and just say hi to everyone. That warmed me up in a way. Let me try and find all of your chats. Again, hit the like button. I can't believe this is happening on my live stream channel. And hit the like button and the subscribe button. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully, one day we'll reach it. And we can be monetized, and we guys can have extra fun and more guests that are more about the conversation and actually challenging their world views right here. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm surprised how someone could actually not want to keep criminal behavior down, and I don't know. So it's okay, Doc. After I said it's okay, Doc, that was a nice Surprise, entertainment surprise. I think that was nice, but at what cost? At what cost? Would I sell myself for this? Hell no. I actually wanted to hear why she believes Karen Reed is not guilty, because I haven't seen it discussed on the open, So I was like, yeah, let's have that conversation. But we ended up having a conversation about another case that is way more conclusive than Karen Reed. Like, I think it is. I actually think it is, based on a set of facts. I mean, that case has its own thing going on, but in terms of pattern, we're seeing that here, and I don't care. Like, it's just, it's just. But yeah, so it was a nice surprise. Thank you, Beth and Shermy. That's a nice name. I can't pronounce it, for your comment. Teresa S says, "Me too help paralyze others, semi-rational judges, and others in the justice system." It's like a wild wild west right now. No one really. Can I say no one wins? It's like you're getting punished. I don't know. It's like undue punishment, like in the context of the conversation. But when something is trying to be done, it's like, nah, let's not do it, or shame the person that's been done for it. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry for not understanding that worldview. I like, maybe one day when we sit down and discuss Plato, maybe we can have this discussion one day or something like that. I don't know. Or poor Lauren didn't mean to redirect us. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Auntie can read hate the defense experts live. I think she does. Am I gonna go through her tweets for this show now? I'd like to see. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be, oh god, oh no, oh sorry. I hit my face on there. Oh Lord. Okay, so a 7 million pledge. Parish says, I get what you mean. I see what you did there. Laura Nadai. Sorry if I said that name incorrectly. Oh god, I backtracked to try to understand the context of the meltdown, and it's crazy. So not just the meltdown that we just saw earlier, where someone ended up rage quitting. Laura also had a meltdown this week, and in the last 72 hours, like, as you know, was as IT2, IT Goatee, my bad. As IT Goatee was trying to explain that. I think I closed down the article. Unfortunate. Wait, did I do that? Okay, did I do that? Yes. Oh wait, no. Wait. Yeah, I did. Sorry. Let me get the article here. I closed down by accident. Apologies, guys. Right. Let me get it up. All right. I think this is it. So she also have this accused, which I would have loved to see her thoughts on this one. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. I would have loved to see that. I was getting to there if I could get to there, but And Rogue Mama says nothing. Doctor has the best laugh. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do appreciate that. And as you know, just to correct Chris Jenner's typo, or as she calls it, what does she call it? Damn, Freudian slip. We are not unintelligent here. I am not the unintelligent juror. I actually am the unintentional juror. I had to weigh up this case as it was coming to me, as well as the Karen Reed case. And as so far, if I didn't know if I didn't know the preliminary reads of this, and this all came out in trial, I'm sorry. Like, there's no way I can find this woman not guilty. Like, I'm talking about the actual criminal charges that's going forward, because that has to be her next defense. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm sorry that I'm ruminating through this, but what just happened is so it's just weird for me. I'm sorry, but let me continue on with this, because I think I am a bit emotionally engaged in this case now, and I kind of wanted to just see where it's gonna go, and see whether. And for me, this is a big win. Like, that is being deferred at least. She got away with it 3 times, guys. Like,
possibly 4. Like,
yeah, like, I don't know how you can not see how this is important, but
Well, and
This is
I
what
heard
she posted up.
rumors. Go ahead.
Sorry, go on. You
Oh,
heard
I heard
rumors?
rumors, preface it, that there might be NDAs involved with other guys or one of the first victims. So, with that being a possibility, it's like I can only imagine how much more is out there that we'll never hear or can't hear about because her other victims, potential victims, would get prosecuted for it, or she set up that defense already to try and prevent them from being able to come forward. It's crazy.
Rosalind, Rosalind says, I kind of like the, and Rosalind, all I'm saying is like, I mean, like, she's, I don't like, I didn't expect her to go, I didn't expect her to just, because I find that disrespectful, right?
Mhm.
It's like, I invited you here. I don't kind of, if you don't want to stay anymore, I mean, you can at least vocalize that and just not, take a moment that I'm trying to like steer the stream where it was supposed to be. You take that as me interrupting you and leaving and trying to put it on me that, okay, you're talking about me now, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what's going on here. That's not,
No.
what I'm trying to say.
It's
Like,
just go ahead.
but no, go on, Big Johnson.
I find it disrespectful how that all played out. Like I got heated too. I'll own it. But we could have a heated conversation without the disrespect towards your channel. Like I look at when I go on someone's stream, I'm in your living room right now. You want me to take my shoes off before I enter? It is your house, it is your living room. So when you want to speak or you want to redirect, it is not my place to tell you X, Y, or Z. It is your home. And essentially, what she did, she slammed the door of your own front door as she left. And it's like, ah, okay, okay.
I mean, I love a good show. Shit show. I mean, uh, it's not bad. I mean, a lot of people were here. They got. I mean, if I don't know, that's not entertainment to me. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. That's just for me. Like some things, some people can't just say some things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think what she's saying is way worse than someone actually advocating for the law to go away. To actually cover the tracks of this. That's one thing she didn't advocate that this should be that the punishment shouldn't come, but she might as well have because that's how it pricked me. That's how it pricked me. Like, but
Yeah,
that's my own
she
opinion. Sorry, go on.
she mocked our efforts and literally like her disbelief that we're going to be able to make a change and change the procedures or affect the law or get justice for these men. She mocked me every time I talked about that, and it's like, no ma'am, you're not listening. It's already happening. Like just because she doesn't believe it's possible, it is a huge undertaking. It is going to be setting the precedent for courts all across the country. And that's a huge undertaking and it's incredible to be a part of. But just because it's such a big feat doesn't mean it's impossible. We're doing it right now. Like you having this stream right now, you are a part of those building blocks. Every other person on screen or not, it's happening. And to laugh and say good luck, we don't need your luck. We already got it going on. We're already doing it. And she'll see in a couple months or years, she will see that these changes do go through. And I hope she realized how wrong she was to doubt us.
I Yeah. So don't tell me where. Don't tell me I was well said. Well said. I'm not gonna just stay over that. That was beautiful. I do appreciate the women that have really utilized their voices here for these three, well, four now, isn't it? Four innocent men that have met her. It's just very fortunate that she picked the wrong men. This is kind of the straw that broke the camel's back kind of analogy. Would have been probably been more accurate because end of the day, she met with the wrong person, and then the wrong person was like, "No, I'm not gonna have that."
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So it's just extremely fortunate because this is a big win. There's been deferred for this. It's been deferred for prosecution,
Mhm.
and she could face charges of evidence tampering, and also charges to do with is it falsifying, well, I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called, but over here it'll be called perverting the course of justice, basically. So it's similar to the crime that Eleanor Williams. I should have brought, but I doubt she would even believe me if I was to say what happened there, because what happened there is wilder. Apparently, she made up a fake grooming gang story, and what essentially happened is she beat herself with a hammer. Beat herself with a hammer. You can see all of her face, and she falsified Snapchat messages about these boys saying that they sent me this. That's how it's rape. It was actually a grooming gang, this and that. And one of these men was not even in the country. She was in Amsterdam. He wasn't even there. Wow. So, like, he was literally at a petrol station.
Yeah.
Like, and while this supposed rape by him, not someone else calling in to say, hey, go rape her now. Like, by him, like, it's just like having that punishment there. I'm happy to see it being applied here, because that's what I was gonna say to segue. And if you didn't interrupt me, I would have said, because over here, this deferral doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. People. I was gonna bring up Amber Heard at this point, so maybe it was good that she fake quit, because I would have said people like Amber Heard like get away with stuff like this because there's no recourse. Anyway, what happened here in regards to Laura Owen? What is she trying to say with this picture from 2017?
In this article, the "Don't tell me I wasn't abused" one, I believe this is a repost of a picture she's now used 3 different times. You're referring to the one that's up on screen? Yeah. I'd have to double check to confirm if this is a zoomed in version, but essentially she's produced these pictures where her face looks in this state for her Uber trial, when she was in a car accident with Uber and sued Uber, for her domestic violence case to show that Mike abused her. She used that as evidence. And then she also used the same hospital picture that she sent to one of the guys talking about going in for a procedure, not mentioning any abuse. So I don't know what she's trying to say with these pictures. It changes every time one of them comes to light. But essentially, she's hurt.
She's hurt. I mean, breakup does hurt, but this is not the way. This is not the way it is, guys. If you're hearing extra voices, 1 second. Let me try and fix that. Apologies. 1 second. Let me try and see if I can fix that. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh. Sorry about that. Okay. So apologies for that. Let me get back to this. I'm sorry, Rosine said, sorry I couldn't make it on today. I'm kicking myself. That's actually true. The one person I would have loved to be it. It would have been like Rosalind is like Megan version 2.
Literally.
Megan Mark 2. Megan Fox. I would have loved to see how Megan Fox would have reacted to this as well, because that would have been very interesting. But yeah,
Two
Rosalind,
very strong, intelligent women who I would have loved
really
their
intelligent.
Oh.
Like there's so much knowledge that Megan has, and she's the type of person to be like, the women that are doing this, stop. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't disagree with Rosalind. I enjoyed the argument. I wanted to actually have one though. I didn't want it to be shouted over. I'm like, be treated as if I'm second class, because I don't treat anyone like that. But that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So, but yeah. So, let me just go. Hold up. That's not it. Let me go. I keep getting the wrong screen up. I think this is it. Oh no, it's not it. Oh gosh. I know what I just did. Okay, cool. So it goes on to say here. Apologies for this. You gather around. Okay. You, the online code of Justice for Clayton, have twisted in my life, has twisted my life, sorry, into your grotesque narrative, turning my truth into your lies and painting men I used to date who I have restraining orders against as martyrs. Big Johnson, I want to ask you a question. Why is she saying that she has restraining orders against them? Big Johnson? Big Johnson, is everything okay?
Sorry, I had to go grab a drink.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was gonna say, I was saying that in regards to who she basically said who I have restraining orders against as martyrs. The martyrs are the men in this situation. She's saying that, so does she have restraining orders against these men?
Yes, Mike, Greg, and Clayton. Yes.
Okay, what happened?
Well, basically in each situation when things get combative or the guys start saying mean things to her, she applies for a protective order against them. She's gotten them granted against all these men. With Mike, she used the abuse pictures and allegations, and he got like a 5-year restraining order granted. With Greg, she's gotten it renewed twice, and then obviously the newest one with Clayton, which was upheld by Judge Mata. Judge Mata did say that she didn't have jurisdiction to I don't know the right technical term, but to make that one go away. So she does have active protective orders against them based on, in some ways, and which is Hay Bales and the timeline team and the other everyone behind the scenes are working on different timelines and comparisons to show what evidence did she use to get those protective orders, and what evidence in those protective orders have we now debunked, like the fiber ultrasound, like the bruised eye picture, to help get those guys evidence for their appeals to get them dropped. Because in every case that I read, I don't believe any of her protective orders have financial grounds to be necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a problem. It's a problem because it's not like anyone is saying don't get a protection order, but it can be abused. Everything in life can be abused. It's just abusers abuse. That's what they do. And people have to start seeing this as legitimate abuse, because this is legitimate grounds for abuse. Like, some people can get stalked like this and then they use the system against them. That is not fair. So let me go back into this article here. Oh gosh, I just turned it off by accident. Oh gosh, boomer today. I do apologize. I do apologize.
Sunday.
It is Sunday. It is Sunday. Of course. Reddit thread. Okay, no, it says okay. You gather around hashtags and Reddit threads and Twitter feeds. Hellbent. No one calls it X, by the way. Just Twitter. Okay. Hellbent on destroying me and dismissing my reality, especially what happened between me and my ex from 2016, 2017. Yeah, the one I got a domestic violence restraining order against in 2018, which was renewed in 2020 until 2025. So she's using these things to bolster her claim, which is exactly what someone who has evidence of her falsifying important documents to the courts to get this. So is the picture above, is that one of our falsification? How did that come about?
The picture above on this article, seeing it on this article is the first time I've seen it. The one that she's used to get the restraining orders was very similar, but showed more of a hospital gown, and it looked like she was in a bed. So, but yeah, it's essentially the same markings. I would say those pictures were taken around the same time, if not at the same time.
So how did she like, is that real? Is that legitimate? Like, are those injuries from actual punching, or what's going on?
Unfortunately, because we haven't been able to obtain any substantiated medical record from her in any way, we have no idea where it actually came from or when she actually incurred those injuries. it could be allergies. That is a bruising allergic or reaction people have when they have allergies. It could be from her falling off her horse, as we do have pictures of her falling off, or videos of her falling off her horse. It could be from the Uber accident where if she smashed her face in that, or it could very well be from a guy who hit her in the face. We don't have enough evidence or paper trail or data to conclusively say where it's come, because she's attributed those injuries to many experiences in her life.
Yeah, and again, when you have, sorry, I think there's an echo on your end, I think. And I was gonna say, sorry, if you're going to fraudulently, especially with the sonograph, as mentioned earlier, if you're gonna present these information to the courts, then the courts are gonna take that with a lot of weight, because they don't kind of appreciate fraudulent behavior, especially to the courts. I'm not sure what they like. You can't defraud the court. Basically, I'm not sure if there's a criminal charge that will follow if you do that. Perjury comes into mind, which is something that she's being charged with. So I don't see how someone being accountable for a crime, because that's what happens. Crime is essentially perpetrator victim, is literally codified as such.
Yeah.
So it's not about Clayton and his decisions. It's about the criminal. I have to say it just for guilty and not guilty premise, Alleged perpetrator. We know she's a perpetrator, but I'm just saying alleged.
You gotta use the right terms though. CYA.
I hate that. I mean, this is probably the only moment I'm not this is the first case I'm not biased. Like, at first I was like, okay, let me just go into it as fresh as possible. Then I read all of this. I read all today. I after I found out about this one is a code read. The first one wasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm learning about this, and there's no way you can present this to the jury, and the jury is like, actually, we may believe. For first and foremost, they wouldn't even allow. I mean, if all four men are, charging her, they may have all of this be questioned now. This DV pick and all these things for manipulation, blah blah. But I don't believe any jury on earth will see what she's actually done and say, yep, no, I don't think she's guilty of perjury. I don't think she's guilty of anything that has been brought against her, which, again, people have to be held accountable for what's going on. They have to be.
Yes.
And putting the blame on the victim does not help with that process.
No.
It really doesn't. Because at the end of the day, objectively, Clayton is the victim, and the three other men as well. They are victims in this, and they're going to have to come and show what has happened with their life in regards to this. So, look, I know how he come off as. Wait, hold up. Let me. Hold up. I think I went too far down. You spend your day scrutinizing every aspect of my life, trying to ruin me. I don't think. Take issue with that. You act as if you have the right to judge me. I think everyone has a right to do anything, just not criminal behavior. To question my integrity. What integrity, my girl? To label me a liar. I mean, faking sonogram is kind of a big proof of that. You weren't there when I dated him in 2016, 2017. Yeah, but you still faked the pregnancy. Well, I mean, with Clayton, of course, but like, wait. What was the motive with her? I don't think I've ever asked this question. What was the motive? Was she trying to extort money? What was going on? I don't think I've ever asked this.
She hasn't outright said it, but I believe her motive is to secure a relationship with a successful man, because she's tried to extort money in a, like, if you don't drop this case, I'll sue you for $1 million way. But the money didn't come into play until this year. It's always been, I'll give you what I want from you as a relationship. So if you agree to that, if you sign a dating contract, you can do whatever you want with the babies. You can keep them, you can abort them. She wants the men to commit to her. And that's what she's always asked for in each of the manipulation tactics.
Yeah. Damn. So end of the day, we still, as she said what she wanted, like as Clayton said what he thought she may have wanted,
Mm.
because it's guessing at the moment. I actually don't know.
I mean, I kind of see it as, based on how it played out, they were talking on LinkedIn. A couple days later, they were texting. You know, within those few days, she sends spicy photos, and then he invites her over. To me, you know, morally criminal person over here. That's a typical, like, you're talking to someone you want to hang out. Like, yeah, you'll meet up at their place and hang out. So I don't think Clayton at that point, because I wouldn't at that point go to hang out with someone and think, this might be my future husband, this might be my future wife. I think I would assume they were looking at it just as like, okay, for the next 24 hours or whatever, I'm going to meet this person and socialize with them. Sex on and off the table, whatever the intention behind it was. I don't think he went into it looking like or expecting to meet his future wife or future twin baby mama.
Which is not even, which is not even real at this point. But Bethan Shermy says, at Zoe, I remember now because Dr. Hines used to do conversations with Amber Heard supporters. I haven't heard anything about her and Karen Reed until today.
Mm.
This is progress. This one person can now spread the word. This is so important, and I'm glad that you're here, Beth, to actually see what's going on, because anyone from the debt community knows how much I want these conversations so that there's an hope to actually share and show the opposite side. Yeah. This was unintended, by the way. And again, for the 2 weeks in a row, we have lived up to her name. The first time, it was unintentional that Kris Jenner said this was the unintelligent stream. This week, it unintentionally became who it became. Wow. Do you see how it flowed? Do you see how the purpose of it flowed? But that wasn't the intention. Yeah. I did not want to go down this way. But this is how important it is for everyone that is actually here to see to see what we're dealing with. This is why we have jurors, and we have to look at this as what it is. Because if a grand jury saw this, they're not taking. I don't think they would have. I think it would have been summary judge. I don't know. How it works, by the way. So I actually don't know how grand juries work or those things. I don't know. But it may not have made it, and it would have resulted in an automatic sentence if that's how it goes. You know, I don't know how it goes, but this doesn't make it pass. I don't believe so. Not with this amount of evidence that could be produced if these men were to sit in court and have to go through what these previous cases. These are because he applied for what did he apply for? Restraining order? Was it the same restraining order and he's not being accepted? I think I'm missing the context.
So the way the courts are broken down here, there's family court, which this main trial was in, and then we have superior court, which is more criminal charges, municipal court, which are like minor traffic court charges. And in municipal and in superior, you can apply and see a judge to get a protective order. So those two courts are separate from family court case. So she filed in family court for parenting time and child support. And then she kept harassing Clayton, incessantly communicating with him. I don't know who did theirs first. I think Clayton applied for a protective order first, and then she did in retaliation, but it's in a separate court. So they had a judge in a case over here and then went for the protective order aspect over here. And the judge has Judge Mata for family court got approval to combine the protective order to look at them both, but she didn't have the jurisdiction, or I don't think that's the right word to use, to quash the original protective order.
IB0093 says, subscribe to this channel now.
And hit the like button.
And hit the like button. I really appreciate this. And again, regardless, like, this woman is going to be held accountable. I hope that the real jury who get to see this case presented to them, I hope that they do convict her, and I hope that she does suffer for this. Men, you're not at fault for something like this, even if even if, I'm sorry, you can be a perfect person and still catch HIV. No one is
Yeah,
safe out here.
exactly.
Let's just keep it a buck. That's where she was going.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, what if the wife has lied to the, or the husband, yeah, wife in this example has lied to the husband and say, no, I don't have HIV, I'm positive. They do the test, she fakes it, she does all those things. What actually happens then?
Yeah.
She fakes it, like he asks, he goes in for test. He asks, oh, can I see the test? She got the results, fakes it, throws away the real results, and gives him the fake one. What does someone has to have to do
Yeah.
basically? It's so ridiculous at this point.
It's kind of funny with the HIV example you used. We do have laws where if someone who knows they're HIV positive spits on another person, then that's a felonious assault because you can transfer HIV through saliva. So in some instances, we have these really strict consequences, but
But the enforcement is the
yes,
issue.
yes,
And I'm glad that this is being referred to be. She doesn't seem like she was in a mood. She just felt, and I'll be honest, she felt as if women are gonna suffer from this. I don't see how, because I think anyone's gonna read through this and be objective and be like, yo, this woman right here, they know that they don't speak for, and I don't think anybody for her to even react like that. I don't think
Mhm.
anybody even warrants or says or is, I don't know what. I don't think anybody is saying all women do this. I
No,
haven't heard that. I don't know what would trigger that kind of response, because no one is saying here all women do this. No one is
no.
saying here, like, but it will make things harder because
Mhm,
because again, three courts believed her.
mhm.
That's no easy feat, and she was able to get restraining orders, and you know,
It's women
sorry,
are
go on,
suffering
big Joe.
because of this. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I
Women are
just
suffering because of this, but not in the way that she's claiming, that Laura Owens is claiming in her Medium articles. Women are not going to suffer it who believe they're pregnant, file a paternity case, and if there's consequences for Laura, she thinks that that'll set the precedent that women who file paternity cases end up losing the child will be punished. It's like, no, that's not the case. We don't want these laws changed to enact consequences on women who just went through the process normally. She deserves consequences because she manipulated the courts this drastically and in this degree. That's what needs to be set there. It's not going to set the precedent that if you file a paternity case and then you drop it, you should face charges. Absolutely not. It's if you file a paternity case and you maliciously abuse the courts and take advantage of these men, knowing full well, like in Laura's case, knowing full well she was no longer pregnant and still drug this out for months, that should be punished because that is the crime. Filing a paternity case and losing the child is not a crime. And trying to say it that way is wrong on Laura's part. And I think it's a infuriating and piss poor defense to say that if she is charged, then that hurts women. No, she's hurting women today. She's hurting women right now because all the men who've heard this story and are single and want to date and want to be in a relationship are going to see this and go, oh my gosh, I can't trust the woman, like women when I first talk to them. Just like as a female, I can't go in a bar. I go into a bar and I don't think, oh yes, all these men are here are trustworthy. And that note's on her drink covering thing. There's a way to, being cautious is not the same as enabling or disabling people's ability to take action. I kind of went on a ramble there.
no, you're fine. Salty says, I would have loved to hear the host, Goatee and Big Joe, talk on this, but then I'm guessing now that was what I was supposed to say. K woman, K woman, no thanks. So Big Salty, like I invited K to this because she was the opposing side for the current retrial, So that was what I wanted her opinions on, because I am a juror here. I haven't made up my case, but I do have a lot of doubts in regards to him getting hit by a car.
Mhm.
That's my story. She already made up her mind. So I want to know, again, a juror is not supposed to make up their mind. So I'm trying to ask, why is she not treating this case as if she is a juror, hear why people don't have that kind of mindset when they're approaching cases like this. What she made of the text messages, that came out about the prosecutor. Does that give you any confidence? All of these things that we went through. I wanted to hear all of that, as well as why she believes that Karen is guilty. So all of a sudden, I'm not waiting to hear all the evidence. So how this? I'm sorry, but yeah, we are now 2 hours 20 minutes into the stream. Wow. And we have even we've done a lot of coverage on not Karen Reed, God, Laura Owens. And I'm gonna continue reading because we are gonna get to a bit of Karen Reed. I just want to give you a bit of updates because it says that in the title. I promoted this as that, and they're not gonna get the voice. So I'm going to change the name of this at the end. It might as well just be the Laura Owens discourse now. It might as well be. But I will try and touch a little bit on the Karen Reed in preparation for next week and everything that came on there. But going back to the article here.
Yes.
Every time I see a venomous rhetoric from Justice for Clayton, I am transported back to the worst moments of my life. You weren't there when I was hiding bruises. You weren't there when I was crying myself to sleep. You weren't there when at the end his mother left me countless voicemails begging me to call her back and stay with him. You weren't there at the end of 2017 when I was desperately seeking a way out. I stayed on the East Coast for weeks trying to leave the relationship slowly so as not to upset him. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. You weren't there. So now this goes into one of our victims where she claims that she was having that she was being abused. Has the victim come out? Has he spoken about her at all?
Sorry, I was typing. So yeah, the 2017, I believe, is Mike Maricini.
Right. Has he come forward? I actually don't know this part.
Yeah. So Mike and Greg are the two most recent victims prior to Clayton, and those three have been very involved with each other. Both Mike and Greg were subpoenaed as witnesses and ready to testify at the trial on June 10th. Everyone ran out of time, so they were unable to testify. But they've come out publicly. They've appeared in videos. They've spoken with different people reporting on this and spoken on their own channels, saying they support Clayton. They're by his side, and they've given evidence. They came with receipts about the stuff that she did to them.
Wow. Yeah. So these guys have proof as well for their accusation. I wish she let me get here because, like I said, I didn't read this article. This would have been an interesting, really bit of interesting stream, unintentionally, of course. I really have to stress that I did not actually expect this. I just want to stress that because I could be like, people are like, oh, he's lying, he orchestrated all this. No, believe me, I read she's thinking that was. I'm like, no, she's missing the fact that she jumped in and gave her opinions. I wasn't asking for her opinion. I think you can go back and watch. That sounds horrible. If you're just tuning in now, I wasn't asking for her opinion. I actually wasn't. I brought her here to talk about Karen Reed. I really was not asking for this woman's opinion. I asked for Big Johnson and Goatee to set the context because they know way more about this and they would have reacted with me in regards to this if we got through that time. Because unfortunately, IT Goatee had to go. He had a set time. We have we didn't have a set time. Anyone can join, but the show does, and we're like 8, I'm trying to stop it at 2:30 max, and I'm sorry, but I cannot be mad at the same time.
It
has been such an interesting stream. Sorry, go on, Big Johnson.
Agree with you. This was not planned, but it was an unexpectedly interesting stream. I'm happy to be a part of it in the unexpected way I was.
Unintentional, some might say.
I didn't plan on getting on at all today, but
I'm glad you did.
Me too.
Let's Anthony says, I follow Karen Reed case, and I was still like, no, Dr. Hines, keep them separate, of course. But I think that it's okay now that Kay has shown her true colors and left us in peace. It is. And yeah, like I'm gonna definitely gonna keep. I'm going to have to make next week anyway, because maybe maybe it's a good blessing, to be honest, because some things did happen this week, but it's just it's literally just updates, like to what has already been built up so far. They didn't go through anything new about Texas. We were going to talk about the voicemail that was got, but of course we don't have much time. We only got like I would say 10 minutes left of the show, so I'm gonna do my best to really like speed through a lot of these updates, because one thing I do is I do take a bit of notes in regards to Karen Reed, and whatever notes I have, I don't go back to watch it. I don't have anything. It's just based on what I saw on that day, and what I saw was the plow driver who, what's his name? Damn it! It's not Paul. Franken truck. It is Paul, isn't it? It is Paul. Lucky is his name. Sorry, yeah, I knew that, but I don't know his full name. I don't know his full name. I completely forgot his full name. Damn, I didn't write down his full name. I am bad. I am really bad. I'm really bad at this because I didn't write down his full name, which is sad of me because I wrote everyone else's down, but for some reason, Lucky didn't get respect from me. I do apologize, Lucky, if you're watching. I highly doubt it, but he probably was, and then he ducked out after hearing Kay. Who knows? I mean, she's not gonna talk to me anymore, so who cares at this point? Who cares at this point? But in regards, let me just read out a few of the chat. 1 second. IT Goatee says, Big Johnson, I'm really sorry you both have to endure this. Love you to you both. Salty, thank you so much. Chris Jenner, welcome back to the stream. We will always remember you as the unintentional Chris Jenner because you really gave us a massive week last week with your unintelligent. I hope today has convinced you that that's not the case. I am quite an intelligent juror, but if people think that jurors are unintelligent, well, maybe you can meet one here that does treat as a juror and try to act as a juror. Maybe you can see that I am not unintelligent. I'm not unintelligent. Sorry, you know. But so Bruce from Oregon, welcome back. Oh, let me go back to this. One does not simply combine the Clayton case coverage to all cases. It's so unique. It is so unique. It really is. And it is not comparable. And I don't think it should be. It never should have been. But unfortunately, that's what ended up happening. Oh my God, no. I don't know what you were saying, but okay. I think Laura will reach out to Kay. I can't wait until this dynamic duo hits the scene. Oh, wow.
That would be spicy.
I actually would watch that. But I need my royalties, though. I need my royalties being paid. If I am to watch that, I need my royalties. Because there's no way that's happening on my stream and she's getting all the attention for it. Hell no. I need my money. Bitch, better have my money. No, you better have it. I'm sorry. Like, I need, if you're going to like, if you're right, I actually wouldn't mind. But if you do a stream, if she does a stream with her, I will be pissed. Kay, you owe me. You owe me. If you do a stream with her and then you need to take, you owe me. You owe me. Anyway, let me continue. Rogue Mama says, oh, Mama, yeah, honest women aren't going to suffer. It doesn't even affect them. An honest woman can go through her life, and if she goes into an unfortunate dispute like this, the issue is abusers will look at these cases and they don't see what we see. They don't see why this needs to be stopped. What they're going to see is, I can use this. That's how they're looking at cases like this, to learn. Sorry about that in the background. Sorry about that. If you heard our background.
What was that?
That was my friend. She's here. Gosh. Honest women aren't going to suffer. Yes. No, they're not. They're not. And I don't think, I think the only suffer is a woman can have a real abuser and she's not going to, a story might be made fake because, again, someone else's fakes evidence against her. I think it's important that this case is known so that they can maybe Who knows? An unintended consequence could be that they strengthen the ripple effects, that they actually try to uh track down these companies, or these that does this fake all these fake things, like build more robust ways to to not allow fake evidence, because it's embarrassing. I don't think people understand how it's embarrassing that a court is fooled. They take that very seriously, because when a court is fooled, it puts everyone at risk. Everybody.
Yeah.
Literally, like, that's why, because court system is all about trust.
Yes.
You don't understand. If there are more cases of the courts being fooled, they are not going to like that, because end of the day, it makes them look like a joke.
Yeah. It damages
And
the
no one
integrity.
wants that.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry, go on.
It damages the integrity of the court, and it supports or continues this influence we have of people not respecting the courts. I mean, I see that in what Laura and her attorney are doing by trying to get Judge Mata kicked off the case, and how they're talking about the court case despite Judge Mata ruling they shouldn't talk about the court case and the medical stuff on his social media like he has. Those ways of disrespecting the court and not, well, disrespect is, I think, the easiest way to come down to it. That is so damaging to our entire system. We have to have that respect. We have to have that, I don't know, basis of behavior and level that we all uphold to, because when you don't, it becomes a mockery. And then, you get this on 10 speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like, that's, I also want to say, everyone here that that are following this case, I really do appreciate every single one of you for amplifying this, because again, without you guys, I wouldn't have picked up on it. I'm actually being serious. I think who first put me on the case, guess who? She was here last week. Yes, she was here last week, Miss Duke, Rosalind Duke. I, that's, to me, that's everything, because I found this case, and now other people are going to find the case, and the more we talk about it, the better. Like, I have no idea how you can then turn around. If you look at a victim, that just implicitly tells me you don't want to hear about this. And I'm like, no, this is landmark. If people know that the courts are actually doing something about this, it could restore confidence in the system and could embolden victims to take action, which is what I was trying to say earlier in regards to, they can look at cases like this and be like, I can see this sign. Okay, if someone is in my life doing things like this, I can go, where did Clayton fail? Oh, okay, they weren't with her. He wasn't with her at the hospital. Okay, so next time I'm gonna go with her to see the sonogram.
Yeah.
You can't fake a sonogram from a hospital. If the hospital gives you an official sonogram, you can't fake it. That's what I was trying to say earlier. And but everything happens the way it's supposed to. Maybe this stream was never supposed to be Karen Reed recaps for this week. Next week we're definitely going to do it. Maybe for this week, whoever is in charge, alien men, God, Gandhi, I don't know, whoever is in charge, maybe this was how it's meant to be. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm really happy we got to see this. We got to see this discourse happen. I'm really happy that you guys are putting your voice out there, because a lot more people like Dave Neal. In fact, he has way more following than I do. This is my second channel, and I'm gonna do my best to recap this and redirect people here from my main channel. But end of the day, I'm still small. My main channel has like 2,000 subscribers, which you go over there and subscribe. Shameless plug, I know, but if someone can come on my shows and be shameless, I deserve the chance to be shameless.
Like and subscribe, everybody.
That really felt good. Okay, I really wanted to say that. How this woman found 33,000 people to follow her is beyond me. I believe she's talking about Laura Owens. I don't know either. That is an amazing. This article even had 23 claps. Weird, y'all. Weird. My lawyer predicted. Oh, did I close the tab by accident? I did again, didn't I? Okay. Okay. So Let me continue reading this. It says, oh, I wasn't there when we were hiding the thing. Sorry. He suffocated me with a pillow, unconscious. All of this were allegations that she made, I'm guessing. And she continues, you want to go on podcast and you're speaking about that. What podcast did she go on, by the way?
The which part?
What podcast did she go on, by the way?
Oh,
yeah. You want to
she
get on
has
podcast?
a podcast with her mom called Nobody Told Me. And it was supposed to be a millennial themed podcast of things she wished people had told her about how to, like, life hacks or think whatever. And in the beginning, she claimed it to be a very successful podcast. And then once it became beneficial for her to drop that, she started saying that she's not a public figure and it's not a very big podcast. But
how many followers does she have on her podcast, like listeners? She never. Oh, okay. So, what are these texts in regards to? Oh, the abuse and all of that, like in 2018. Okay, cool. I didn't notice that. Okay, and this is the Twitter page, Justice for All Victims. You really need to follow that, Clayton's Justice. Follow that page. It will bring you updates in regards to this. I have no idea what all of this is. She claimed that she had cancer as well. I remember that last week. Polycystic is this just sounds awful. I'm not gonna lie. For this all to be a lie, because I look at this and I'm like, you really have been in hospital, but what's the story behind this picture?
Which one do you have on the screen right now? The horses?
No, the picture of her in hospital.
Okay, so I have to pull it up on YouTube to see what's live, but it's on a delay.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Let me try and load it up again. I don't know why that's happening. Bear with me, guys. Can you see it now?
I can see on your YouTube, yeah. So that's the hospital picture where she has sent that one in support of, that was in her TEDx talk where she talked about she was in the hospital being abused. And then she also sent it with, I think it was in an text or email to one of the guys as a, I'm all drugged up, ready for surgery text. And then it also speculated that it could have occurred after her Uber accident, or she may have used this picture in her Uber accident case as well.
Which wouldn't be possible because those happens in different cities, right? Those happens in different locations. So again, let's not be stupid. All right. So if anyone who has listened to the rants of Kay, unfortunately, she's not here to defend herself. But even if she was, let's be real. Even if she was here to defend herself, I don't think anyone would speak, and I don't think we would get anywhere, and it wouldn't be productive. So okay, call with Kay. What the F, Jennifer? Okay. Okay, that's a blessing. Gosh. I felt like I just gagged there. Jennifer, your last name. Gosh, that's. Salty says, I am with Lauren. I'm out. This is ridiculous to listen to someone victim blaming. I am sorry that you couldn't, stay long. I hope that you are still here and you just mean out as in like checked out, IBO 390 first. Heinz is good, but K is not. I really appreciate you. Random Girl, thank you so much for tuning in. Heinz did a great breakdown on debt behavior. If you haven't seen it, I really do appreciate that for the plug. I did go over to Dr. Heinz, my main channel at Dr. Heinz Official. You will find all Dr. Heinz info, which is on my screen right now. Oh gosh. Okay, there we go. Dr. Heinz info. You will find all there is about everything that I cover. So this stream will be on there. I'm updating it tonight. All of those things. Wow. I'm not even done. So when you connect the dots in this case, you can see how it is important that courts has referred this. You don't care about the truth. You only care about your twisted narrative and this toxic community. I don't think I have a twisted narrative. I feel personally attacked by that. You've created about trying to tear one woman down. I don't think anybody is trying to tear. Yes, actually, yes. This part, I agree with you. I am trying to tear down this particular woman for faking a sonogram, for going with all these criminal acts, fooling the court and putting them in such a position that they are going to take a bit more care when it comes to accessing the evidence of this. So this tears down one woman, not the rest, because the rest are going to benefit from this, because one, they either learn from it and be like, I'm never going to do that. I may have had the thought before, but now I see how that could happen. I don't know. I can't guess abuses. I'm not a scientist. I don't think I would be able to even, they can't even figure it out. How would I know? How would I know? They can't figure out that movies. How would I know? So, everything in regards to Laura, to this woman, doesn't feel like revenge, which is the one motivation for false accusations. People do it for revenge. People do it for alibi. She's not doing this for alibi. She doesn't have anything to like try and hide. Like, you know, when you go into a cookie jar and steal something from it, and then someone, that's an alibi. You need someone else to take your fall. That's not what's happening here. So no, this is not alibi. This is not personal gain. You can maybe call monetary gain, financial gain. Maybe you can call it that. But end of the day, there is no motivation for this because I can't find it. This woman needs to be highlighted so that the system can safeguard better, because 3 men did not deserve this. That's the most important point. 4 men. Sorry, Clayton. I keep forgetting. I called you Richards last time. But you know, it happens. It's Hines after all. Gosh. Maybe I am the unintelligent juror. Maybe I am the unintelligent. Okay, so let me try and read more of your messages before I just wind this down a little bit. So because oh wow, we have way past 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna 5 more minutes, guys. I'll try. I don't know how I'm doing this. This is longer than last stream. Oh gosh, I prefer cherry Kool-Aid, Bruce. If you're making an official cold beverage, that's amazing. Thank you so much, JusticeFor Clayton. Woo! Thanks for covering this. I appreciate all you have done. Thank you so much for even tuning in and seeing that many people value your work, seeing that I value your work, and I'm not even emotionally invested. I literally read about this case 3 weeks ago. I messaged Megan immediately and be like, yo, this woman is lying. What the fuck? There's no way. That was my first message to this. I was like, hi. Hi, Megan. Yeah, this woman is lying. Like, no way. Like, it's like, oh. But so again, keep up the good work. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been as acquainted as I was with this case to even have an input, a valid one at that, very valid one against the forces of evil that tried to stand up in this show. She wanted to argue morality. Let's argue morality. Exactly. It is. It's such a paradoxical position that I'm like, you're not seeing what's going on here. You're actually imploding yourself, imploding your case. Sorry, I don't know how you can argue for that. And then the son, I believe that's what the wage quit was about. I believe it has to be, because she really hates that. She was like, no way. How dare you bring my son into this? Anyway, moving on. That's about it. Written by Laura Owens. Oh, thank gosh. Okay. So it wasn't that much of a read then. I'm so happy we got through that end. I appreciate. Okay. So what I am going to do is just read out these last few chats. I don't think, is there any more? Do we get matching trainers? I'm guessing that's for the community. Of course we do. Wait, I can't even see my trainers, but they're purple. They're purple. So everyone has to wear purple now. If I don't see purple trainers in the next stream, we're gonna be in trouble. This is a sanction to all future invitees of Ketchup Court. You have to wear purple trainers. I'm just
Gotta go shopping.
all new jurors. Oh, let me put down the link for the main channel so that you guys can go watch whenever I do a feature on something. That one is more for original content, more for content that I edit myself. And I'm trying to go more cinematic, more Iron Man in all of this, more Marvel Universe in all of this. So I'll get there hopefully, but I'm trying to cover cases in that kind of fashion. So hopefully my discussions with experts like like lawyers or a psychologist or a researcher, hopefully what I discuss on there is very helpful to unpacking the nuances that comes to viewing this case, as well as just discussing this case in public, because understanding those nuances help have more productive conversations than the one we just had. That wasn't productive. I think there was a different forum for that. I think those discussions can exist, not in our channel because that's a bit rude, but we can have it away from this kind of case, because this type of case does not deserve that kind of coverage. Not this type of case doesn't. Maybe we can talk about that in a different case, like the OJ case. Maybe we can talk about that there. I don't know, but not here. Maybe we can talk about it on its own, but not here. Not like this. Victims are victims regardless of their choices to get to that position. That's the most important part, because this is horrible things to face through. Those men, I just learned today, I didn't even know this. Again, this is how new I am. I was Rosalind Duke filled me in regards to these women having families. Was it you as well? I think you said that, Big John. Did you say? I don't know. But someone filled me in today. And said that they have families. Oh yeah. You said that on the stream. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Memory. Yeah, I think so. That they have families of themselves, and they're being dragged through this. So, yeah, this has to be discussed, because that's a real victimization someone has gone through. That's a family right there has gone through an insane amount of victimization that you don't know what is done to that family. So end of the day, this woman has to be held accountable. I don't care for the meta analysis. Let's talk about it on whatever on another one, not this one where we're talking about the case actually being moved forward. Like, what are you mad at? Like, why are we talking about it if you think that she should get punished? Okay, conversation is done. We don't need to talk about it like that. Let's focus on the punishment, because that was the stream before we move on to Karen Reed, which I will do next week. I will do that next week. The defense is putting on their case in chief. I believe they've already gone through 3 witnesses so far. The most interesting thing that came out of that trial was Frankentruck. A Frankentruck. That's what they call customizable trucks. Like, I'm put different, like the way you explained it. Oh wait, let me go to it. I actually have the video ready, because I was gonna talk about that, because I'm a good host and I can plan
You're
things.
prepared.
I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that. Am I the victim now? I guess I'm the victim. Hey, biologic, I am actually a credible victim. Yo, that actually makes sense. Is it my fault? No one, but yeah.
You should have known better, and you should
yeah,
have
you know
better
what I
done
mean.
a
Maybe I
background
shouldn't have
check.
invited her. Damn it. Damn. That's such my fault. That is so my fault, guys. I can't believe I got blamed for that, man. Next time, just know who you're talking to. Hold up. I'm trying to find this. Okay, that segue did not go as well as I planned. So let me just try and oh no. Oh no. Damn it. That's it. Okay. Oh gosh, no, wrong. Sorry guys, I am a bit of a boomer sometimes. I do apologize for this. Let me try and do it here. I will link every article that we wrote in on the website, and link it in the description as well, so you guys can go find references for all that we discussed here. And yeah, like let me get it up. Okay, cool. I think it's here. Let me share this stream. Okay, 1 second. What am I doing? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Oh gosh, what's going on here? Why can't I see it? Oh no, sorry about that, guys. I'm not seeing. Okay, I am really angry about this. Let me do this. Maybe this would work.
There's so much that goes on behind the scenes, like in your seat right now, to produce these streams. It's mind blowing to me because I've been taught very little and I still can't do it myself. And every time you're apologizing, and I was like, you don't know an apology because it's chaos what you're doing right now.
I appreciate you. Thank you for putting out with this because trying to plan on the fly is kind of difficult as well. So, Bruce from Oregon, thanks for covering this case, Hines. I appreciate you, Bruce, for even watching this case. I appreciate you for spreading the word because I'm pretty sure that if you're online or even in your town right now, wherever you are, and you're talking about it, is very important. So I appreciate you for even watching. And now we have something else to discuss. We can talk about a woman that actually tries to minimize the situation and blame Clayton for that. That's a very interesting topic one day.
Yeah.
We can have it.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Bruce?
she can unblock me then and then I'll call her back and ask, why are you blaming him? I don't know. Chris Jenner, thank you so much, Laura. Remember when Laura tried to raise cross-examination? Oh wow. We did have a proper Laura Owens in this stream. All right. Let me just play this and then
Yes.
we will move from there. Oh gosh.
It was a potential blizzard. We had been given a start time.
All right. And when you say you had been given a start time, what does that mean?
It means that we're expected to be in our trucks at a certain time on our route.
Okay. And who gives those instructions back in January of
Franken truck.
And why is it called the Franken truck?
No. Okay, let's do this again.
Assigned to you when you file?
Yeah.
And your truck, is there one that's specifically assigned to Colin?
Yeah, I started wrong. Well, it happens to everyone. Hopefully that wasn't a smooth. I'm not gonna front. I'll take accountability. It wasn't smooth, but we move on.
I needed to get into my truck and get that prepared to go out.
All right. And your truck, is there one that's specifically assigned to you when you file?
Yes.
And does that truck have any particular nickname?
Yes, it's called the Franken truck.
And why is it called the Franken truck?
It is a truck that has a lot of different parts than what it's required. It's not parts that were made for that specific truck.
Frankenstein monster. It's not supposed to have those parts, but it does. No, gosh, that would have been. We weren't going to talk about that, obviously. It wasn't just that, but to kind of transition out of this. Yes, I'm going meta because there's nothing. Meta is the best comedy for moments like this. You kind of have to. You kind of have to go meta, but yeah, like we're gonna be going through updates in regards to because so much has came out last week and this week, and it's also gonna be happening next week when the defense are back in court on Monday, I believe. So I can't wait to recap that week and hopefully find another guest that does believe Karen Reed is guilty, and find guests that also believe Karen Reed is not guilty and sit down, because I'm not sure. I don't want to paint anyone that supports Karen in any way like that. I don't believe that none of you are like that. I think most of you may be able to have a conversation, but now I learned something new. I can't have a conversation. Maybe it would have been worse for Karen if I did speak, because you know what I have to say about that. But oh well. That's all I got time for today. That's all we have time. Wait, before we do go, should we go for 3 hours? I'm joking. I'm not gonna go for 3 hours. I'll just read the remainder of the chat. Heinz, answer. You're so patient. I appreciate that, random girl. I don't know. I don't know. Oh gosh, I wish I wasn't. I actually wish I was a bit more speedier with this one. Honestly, it should have been handled a lot better than that, in my opinion. Because I feel like I did something bad when IT Goatee's time was wasted. I believe he would. His voice the insight that he does, because Rosen has filled me in on everything about him. He had a lot of insights that I feel like we should have discussed on this case on this stream today, and unfortunately we didn't get a chance to actually go through that, which I feel like I wasted his time, because that was his function. He knows that. I think he was even out of place when he was not going there. I mean, not saying, no, I'm not doubting his story. I believe he has somewhere to be, but what I'm saying is that while he was here trying to get that out before he goes, because we all have lives.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I had him for a limited amount of time. That is what I'm trying to say, and not using his time productively does hurt me a little bit, because I'm like, hopefully we'll have him back if something does develop in regards to Laura Owen facing criminal. We'll be here. We will discuss it. That was what this was started for. We discuss criminal cases that are going on. We discuss trials like Karen Reed. We discuss any other ongoing trials. Like, I think, was it like we there are other cases that are going to happen, like the Corny Claney case. That's going to happen very soon, where a woman has killed her boyfriend, but claims DV, which there's no proof of. She was the one that was conducting the DV.
The TikToker, is that the one?
Yeah.
Ooh,
No,
that
no,
looks
not
interesting.
TikToker, not the OnlyFans model.
The
Yeah, she
blonde
was.
chick, right?
Yeah. Courtney
yeah.
Clancy. Yes. So we're gonna be talking about that. That case is gonna go to trial. Well, I mean, there's so many motions, so it might not go to trial this anytime soon. But there should be a trial date after all these hearings are done. There are other cases as well
Yeah.
that we're gonna talk about. So do stick with us. Do hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button already. There's so many videos coming out onto the channel, maybe the main channel at at Insight. Sorry, that's the at for the main YouTube channel. Or you can find me at Dr. Hines. Just search Dr. Hines Emerton. That's how I said. That's how we said Emerton. Sorry. So yeah. So in regards to that, Big Johnson, your channel, she I'm not sure, you don't really stream and do videos often, but you did do a series in regards to your cancer story, like how you beat cancer. Like, that's what she does on the channel. What else do you plan to do, or what more can you tell everyone about your channel? Because I don't know much about it outside the cancer story, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, what more do you do on there?
My channel, it's been my cancer journey, and kind of how, like, my own diary since I still have cancer, it's just not actively trying to kill me. So I document an update every year. But I actually love Rosalind Duke. Her and I were talking last night, and I think we are going to do another stream together, hosted on my channel though, and kind of bring in more of my audience who, I've got a pretty strong channel, but it's people who've only known my cancer story. So we're going to transition it to where we can start discussing these real life situations, being a resident of Maricopa County, dealing with my own problems, Clayton's problems. Have you heard of the Gilbert Goons? Because that's another crazy trial here in Arizona to follow. I think I'm gonna transition it to start kind of covering those cases, and as a movement, like, let's get people together where we can discuss and actually try and make these changes that we all want.
And yes, you can go, and I can hear your thing. Unfortunately, I can hear myself back, and now I can't. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can go check out Big Johnson's channel. Her real name is actually Tori Johnson, or she may be known Victoria Johnson, but you can go check out Big Johnson's channel right here. Let me put it in there for you. I might need to get a mod now. Again, I did not expect so many people to be here. I did not expect so many people to have discussions. I'm kind of happy that we did end up having discussion, but 2 minutes left. Kind of have to say goodbye. It's too late to apologize. I'm gonna have to get a real songs for this, but I'm scared of royalties. See how cheap I am. I'm scared to be taken down for my copyright, get royalties thrown at me, that I am not gonna risk it by playing this real music. So I'll sing it instead. It's too late.
Strategic.
But yes.
CYA all day.
But that's Big Johnson's channel. Go check out, and you can go also check out the Dr. Hines channel. Let me try and get it up. I should have got it up already. But yeah, it's been a journey. Oh gosh, it's been a journey. I thank everyone for tuning in. Let me just put the channel in the chat so that you guys can see it. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, wait, no, it's there. Wait, nope, that's there. Okay, 1 second. Yay. All right, so let me boom. I'm working the computers. That's what without if anyone wants to mod, let me know. Oh Lord. But yeah, or just go on to drhines.info. The website has everything there anyway, so you can see all the work that I do, and I will do my best to you know uh, you know push this out there. A lot more people, definitely. I think with Megan and with Dave Neal. Damn it. I was going to say Clayton, but yeah, he's the one actually going through this. With people like Dave Neal covering it, as well as Megan Fox, as well as Tug as well. That umbrella guy, he's covering it as well. That's a big win. There's a lot more people doing this. And the benefit with me here, again, I'm not trying to be big-headed or anything like that. A smaller creator does attract other smaller creators to cover it. And it could become a tsunami one day where a lot more people are aware of this case. That's the most important part. And so everyone that are doing their bit, do your bit, irrespective of who you are. Otherwise, we wouldn't be started in anything that we do. People love to see people know that someone's looking out for them, someone outside the system. Anyway. So that's how much I value all that you're doing. Anyone like her, I will try. And people don't like it when this happens. I will make sure that I dig down to the depths of your soul to see why you hold your position. I'll make sure. I'll ask you questions. If you can't substantiate your position and run away, that's not my problem. It's just not my problem. But the case I was talking about, you can see it on my channel. Is called False Accusations. Oh, let me show you the channel videos. There we go. Oh, there we go. Right there. We discussed that. That's a psychologist. Right here is a counselor and therapist for that deals with men, and he talks about the prevalence of false accusations and the system prosecuting it. But the interesting part about the UK is they log this under one report that gets locked in with other perverting the course of justice, which could go into bankruptcy, fraud, and all that. It could go into all of that. But we want these cases to be under abuse and rape, but the ones that are false, so that the numbers could come up a bit, because they are misfiling it right now. Even men that have been victim of rape are not even regarded as male victims. They are being recorded as female victims. So it's what we discuss over here is this, because this particular case here, she falsified the documents that I was telling you about. Sorry, the photographs. She falsified the text messages that she received. All of these things. Sorry, not text messages, Snapchat messages, text messages, you won't even call it. So, where's my wrench for this channel? Random girl, you remain mod. Thank you so much. Don't worry, you're getting your wrench. Definitely. I will get that done for you. ASAP. Oh gosh, ASAP like Rocky. I even say that. Is that how you say it? ASAP like Rocky. Okay, that works. I guess that works. That should work, right? I don't know. I know I sound crazy, but give me time. I know I sound crazy. But yeah. Okay, so now that's all. I think. Hold up. I'm not sure. Does it change straight away if you update it right now? Does it change straight away? I don't know, but you definitely have it on for the next stream. Random girl, thank you so much. Next week we are back, same time, 3:30 Eastern time. You can jump in and you get any updates in regards to this case, Laura Owens, or whatever case is going on that I would also want to put out there and be like, hey, this case is kind of going on. I may cover it, which you would then see the actual trial watch in different times of the week. You actually get to see the trial work if I could, but I want to cover the Courtney Clinic trial when it comes up watch it live, as well as any other trial that's going live. That could be very interesting. Corey Hitchens trial is going to happen soon. So yeah, but let me close this out. Let me try and 1 second. Okay. Let me read the rest of the chats and then we'll. I mean, as for been following Read, a lot of people. The case is blown up right now, especially after those text messages. I think there will be so many people watching to see the verdict. Proctor, ever since Proctor came onto a stand, it blew up pretty much. Like, so many more people heard about it, I should say, but it blew up way before that. Blew up around, I think, maybe the 4th day or something like that. I'm following Karen Reed, but no, from the start, K intro was a red flying flag. I be over it. Yeah. But it's my fault. I didn't read I didn't see the signs. It's my fault, guys. Don't worry. Thank you, pickle juice justice. Thank you. Okay, but yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, Big Johnson. Thank you so much for being the guest. I appreciate IT Goatee as well for being the guest as well. I appreciate him. Hopefully we'll get a chance to speak again. Irrespective of what happened with Kay, I respect her for coming on and still giving her time to this. It's unfortunate what ended up happening, but yeah, I'll just leave it there. Thank you so much for that, Chris Jenner. I cannot wait for the Corey Richards trial as well. Hopefully, I'll be able to stream it live every day with whatever trial. I will announce it in the community tab. So it's a great time to follow us. 3-hour stream. It's not like work, but we make it work. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Take care of yourself. Bye.